So we are at the very first one, the first module, AI in product management, and you all know this, but in my experience, I'll tell you a few things. So first and foremost, understanding where AI to be used and AI not to be used is the key, and that we will learn. What is AI? It is a kind of I would say boon and also bend any new technologies when it comes. Yeah, but we need to really be looking at the brighter side of it, and few things when we do with our images, with our videos, with our impressions, the thumb impressions, or when you record your audio, please ensure that those things are not getting inside the AI. If you are doing it, it has to be a paid version, but be careful. So that is one thing. AI today can simulate all of the things that human used to do manually. Yes, it is getting better and better. It's all works on the data and simulation of those things. For example, you wanted to do right, kind of a PRD, or you wanted to do a market research. AI can actually make things faster, give you the right insights. But AI data is all about what you have fed in, right? So AI is working on the global data based on the tools that you are using. It has a lot of biases. So whatever the data that it is choosing and giving you the answer, you need to also verify with your own intelligence. And this is where AI comes, that even though it helps you to do a deep research, it helps you to make your reasoning stronger, both logical reasoning, your strategic thinking, that is there. But at the same time, when you are taking the decision, uh, just don't only rely on AI. That is very important. And now the difference of AI and the ML works. It's a subset of AI, definitely, but then ML also, see, everything today, the data is the key thing that you are feeding in, right? And ML will work on those data. It will label it. It will understand what is the pattern. It will also tell you that, okay, this is what is the anomaly in the previous data and these data. So it will do all this. As a human being, everywhere the human intervention is needed to identify the data that has been given for training and the data that has been given for validation or getting the outcome. What is the similarity and what is the discrepancy? That is something very important. So as a product manager, as any professional, business professional, my only suggestion is, please don't blindly use AI, but have your own intelligence. And this is where we are learning AI tools, but we are also keeping our own decision making with us, taking the insights from all these tools. The third aspect is why it is important that we need to learn AI, because the world is already going towards AI. Lot of developments has happened. You have also seen that the market wise there is a disruption, lot of laying off, people who don't know how to use AI. They are not able to pace with the change, not able to pace with the kind of org demand that is there, and the kind of revenue or the kind of top line, the research and the innovation. If you are not learning, you are actually staying behind the curve. So that is why we need to learn. And at the same time, you need to also understand that if I can develop something on my own using this. So always I would prefer, when in your organization you are taking up any AI project, buy the tool. Paid version is more secure, and create your own LLM. So using that tool, either you can write or code it using your data science and the ML team, or you buy the paid version, make it fully proofed, that go through the privacy and take out few of the things, of course with your data science team, that is not needed for your engagement or for your expertise or your exercise. And then ensure that the legal and the finance team has also done their due diligence while you are buying the AI tools. And then go ahead and start with a small experiment. uh, Definitely it works in the faster decision making. That's one. Second thing is it will give you a lot of data. Previously, when humans were actually working on this, they were mostly, what is there based on their experience, or some data that is available on the internet. But because AI has a huge data set, so your data backed insights is getting better. It's one person working on a project, or now there is four people who are working on the project, and in this case you get more specialized, and each one has their roles and responsibilities. So the kind of insights that you generate, that is a much better and more trustworthy. So that is why data backed insights has been becoming has become easier. Third point is, today if you look into any successful companies, right, globally they are collecting a lot of data of human, how do they interact with their system. Second thing is, there is a, the gender difference, the differentiation that is there. Third thing is the language differentiation is there. Fourth thing is that every now and then, your customer is adding what is there, but adding more to the technology, right? They wanted to make sure their user experience is getting superior. So the customer personalization has been a lot more difficult than previously. Understanding for a machine to adding all these different complexity level, your demographic, your psychographic, their overall behavioral skills. Okay, what would be the next step that they can take? Understanding and predicting, that is a lot more tough. And based on this, doing the predictive insights, predictive analysis, predictive intelligence, that is also very much important. So this is where, you see that as a PM, any professionals has to learn AI. Now let me go to the next one, just to give you a glimpse of what is the current market size looks like in AI. It has already reached $244 billion market in 2025. And if you see the overall growth every year, that is happening close to 27%. So there would be soon time that today, even though we are doing still a lot of things manually, there would be a human plus AI agent who are working on things together. And every organization is trying to do less, uh, you know, have less people but do more work, because each AI agent is a resource. So this is very crucial, that if we are not learning the technology, it is a big problem for us. We need to know how the machine works, what the machine is using, able to tell is the machine giving me the right input or not, able to question the machine, that how you identified the data, what has been, how has you prepared the data set. So these are the questions you should be asking to your data science team, your AI team. Don't take everything that is coming, but ask them what is the sanity check you have done, what has been the rule that you have. So have that more questioning ability and sit with them, understand, because even they know all the protocols of running the AI data sets or the training or the other things, but they don't have that kind of understanding from the business side or from your own experience, how what is really important for the business goal and how you will be able to use this data. That is where your advantage or your unique positioning about, your positioning in the organization comes. So let me get into the next slide. Some of the career things that you see with the AI roles are evolving. And here, what you see is, the ones that are in orange, those are the must have AI roles. So we already have seen, when I was into it, 2018 to 2020. Yeah, sorry, 2019 to 2020, around 2 years I was there. So I used AI to understand why a customer is churning vis-a-vis a customer who is loyal. What are they doing with my product? I worked with data science and the AI team to ensure that they pull out the last 3 years data and never work on data that is of 2 months old or 3 months old. If you have to predict something, if you have to work something really useful, you need a huge data sets that is last 2 years data, so that you have covered a holistic aspect of it. And what I did is I worked with them to identify that why a customer repeatedly, buying things, whereas the other side, the customer is churning every month. And this gave us a very good outlook, the kind of characteristics a customer portrays, right? So what it means for a churn customers, they were not able to understand how do I use the new product features that have come. I was not hooked by the first month. How should I use the tool? Third one is, I was finding the tool is hugely complex because so many features, I was feeling overwhelmed. Now, these are the main reasons that why customers have not, really, focused on the tool, the Intuit QuickBooks accounting tool. And also because it is purely online, the support that was there is they can directly do a call from the app that is there. But then there were not the AI agent were there. The customer support team who were there, the front face, the first level, they were also not equipped enough to take up some of the questions which are very technical. So that gave them, a lack of confidence that is this the right tool that I will be using. So this was the typical churning reasons, for that those set of customers. Now, when I looked into the loyal customer set, I saw that they are proactive. They are, mostly looking into not just one or two features. They, in the first week, even we were sending them the automated newsletter, means from the email. We were also sending them the push notification. We send them the messages from in the SMS, I mean. And we were also having a quick, kind of a webinar to take them. See, this was same for both the churning people and also the people who were loyal. But the loyal people also reached out to our LinkedIn. They also went through Intuit website. There were those trainings. We created around 32 videos regarding how to use Intuit QuickBooks in the first week. And for every idiom that we were sending, we were attaching that short video so that they learn. And that actually helps reducing lot of questions that will come to the customer support team. And what we found, they were proactive. They are learning more than two, three features. There was a highest, view on our YouTube. People are learning, and they were also asking the queries. There were a lot of inbound queries that came to the customer support. Now, when I was comparing the both data set, I found that the channels that the loyal set of customers use are higher compared to the churning set. And what are the top three channels that the loyal customers use vis-a-vis the churning set? And we identified that loyal customers are, getting incentivized by some of the features of the tool, which not necessarily the churning set are using. So what we started doing, we started changing our EDMs based on the insights, and we ensured that they are also able to use those more than two three features in a week. We created our customer success renewal team who used to call them and have a very personal conversation based on their data usage so that we solve the problem. And we, because it was also like GST, the any fintech tool today is helping how do we do the GST return. That was the main aspect of why people were using. And because it is on cloud, and if you compare with Tally is more of a very old fashioned system. So they were finding the interface, it is more intuitive in Intuit. So we actually leverage that. We created some more additional screen, and we started incentivizing the customer that, hey, if you do on the day one this, you get 20 points, but if you use another feature, you get 10 points. So the customer is incentivized to do more. And then based on everything, we are tracking their behavior at the back. And the moment they are stuck, immediately the call goes and say that you are using this product, but we found that you have stopped there. What is, can we help you? And that proactive predictive insights, and that the data behavior of the customers or the interface or the UI UX, that really helped us stop the churns. the churning behavior were somewhere around more than 40% per month. After doing these experiments for continuous 3 to 4 months, we reduced the churning behavior to 25%. So what I'm trying to say, a product manager or a business professional has to understand data, has to work with the data engineer, which is a must have role, and also able to question and have their own logical thinking to be work with both data and ML engineer. Nowadays there is a prompt engineer also, and ask them that okay, can you tell me, if we do this, what is the probability of customers usage? Because based on the training your data set, same way if you are coming up with something new, you can actually predict that whether it would be successful or not. So we did a lot of experiment also. I will pause here and just to see if you guys have any questions, because I when I do the training, I really want to give you those specific my life experiences where I used AI, and I'll talk as I go along with other experiences. But this is where you need to be working very cohesively with the other teams, and your role would be always to what if, having that experimentation mindset, start something new, understand from the data, have a very close look that why this is happening, asking the question why, and if I would have done this, what would have been. So those what if scenarios, that is what makes a PM very very respected, very kind of a friendly person working with him. The when you ask the why part, it is not that you are questioning their ability, you are trying to understand how the customer would react. So always make it clear when you work with a team. See, it's at the end of the day different people, different organization behavior as well, their egos, their beliefs, the way they work, understanding their style, and then tweaking your style towards that, because at the end of the day everyone is working on the same goal. So that's very important. And you also see the data scientist was there, now also it's there. But along with that, a lot of data modeling manager, validator, AI product manager, uh, platform AI platform product manager. You will also find things like how UI can work with the AI. So when you are doing a lot of experiments, head of AI is definitely there. Uh, and then all on top of that, as I said, that AI, some of the outputs are questionable. So asking that risk, governance, data privacy, all of these are also very important. There has been a lot of cases that you guys have seen. So on the at the below, you see this is the thing that why and everyone is there. Business owner, business expert. You guys are actually a pseudo of business owner and also the business expert. So for you, business understanding and ensuring when the data is getting prepared, you are working with them to create those data rules and making this transparent to all the organization people, and create a champion from every team so that you get the support while you are doing something new. And it has to be driven by top down, so you get the things approved from your management and your 2 or 3 levels higher from the management. You have the budget of doing that, why it is needed. That is very important. Once you get the budget, then you work with them and get things moving and ensure everybody has a common KPI to run this project. So now let me go to the any questions guys so far, or we take it later.
Hi, Sudipta.
Yeah,
Uh,
hi.
I just know that just when you are telling about the business owner and the business architecture, then
Hmm.
how the things are going on with this? Are you letting the UX designer is using the AI? But it's a developer thing, no?
No, no. Look, as a PM, you need to tell them what the predicted user journey should be. So let's say the customer is using as per the conventional method in because we have created our tool. So we know the customer should do step one, then step two, and this is how the customer will get the output. But when you see the customer is using not step one or step two, they are using a very different approach of using the tool. and the insights or the output has been very different. It may be because of two things. One, customer doesn't want to be a kind of a, the conventional way what we have told them, and he or she wants to use a very new thing. Second thing, our UI UX is confusing. We are not able to tell, and this is one of the churning aspect, that they were finding overwhelmed with so many features that is there. So as a UI UX person, role is how do I simplify the customer's experience and give a much clear. Maybe some of the buttons were not visible, some of the modules were not visible, you show it in a different color, or the moment it comes to they come to your app, you start a very small but very interactive tour with them, and you can actually animate the tour so that the customer feels nice to use your product. At the end of the day, all AI PM or only the PM job is to how do I ensure more usage, more engagement, and experiment it out with the data backed out from this experimentation result, that if I would have done, I have done this, so I got this result, but I have also done this, so I got. So now you have a more data sets to compare, that because this customer is behaving like this, can we do something and see what it is, right? So for example, another example, if I can give. So, in one of the product management organization, it's a European big organization where I was working, and our websites was very, very cumbersome. It's work. So Oracle is the US entity, and I was globally, heading the entire product marketing and the branding and the overall, the center of excellence for them. What we understood, when people come to our website, we find that people, after 2 or 3 minutes, they are little overwhelmed where to go and click next, and lot of bouncing is happening. The bounce rate is quite high. So what we started doing, we created three different sets, and I, as a product person, worked with those data science and of course, those marketing people from the other regions to come with a. They will see a very different screen during this time of the day when there is a very high traffic, and using that new screens, are they able to find the buttons preferable? And what we also do, we made a very different menu sets. We also ensured some of the buttons that was not there, it is a sticky one as they scroll down, and that really helped in improving the engagement. So this is what is I'm trying to say, that you have to work on your business understanding and the business owner, and it is not about development. See, developers will be always listening to your idea, and then they will convert that idea to their coding and things, but you need to tell them that why you have to do it, what is the outcome you are expecting, what is the input that what has been the problem, because they will not have this business understanding. So you are not working with the developer, you are working with a UI UX, you are also working with the that engineering team who is heading it. Maybe yes, developer you will sit, but you need to tell the developer who doesn't has this business understanding, that how the customer uses. So if you can record something that okay, there are a lot of tools like Hotjar and other things, Microsoft Clarity, that actually records customer session on the website. Where are they going? What are the things they are clicking?
And
And
basically, you are just saying then basically you are just saying the product manager is doing the layout visualization optimization, and what's customer feedback and customer ease of doing of work in the layout of the designing app. He just guided the developer so he make the app as far as formally.
correct, and show them, we help them visualize. See, generally the friction happens when they don't understand and they think it is another task for them, right? That friction should never happen if you are giving them the business understanding. And often we as a person, we always say that we have to do this, but we don't say why we have to do this. So if you can actually give this kind of video recording of consumer behavior, and they should have used the way we have built the tool, but they have actually not used the website the way we want, so then the developer understands, right? And also it is very important, there is a design thinking approach which we'll also talk about when I get into the product management, product lifecycle management. Design thinking is everyone should be customer first. That kind of thinking practices has to be inculcated in the entire organization. And so if you can take your developers And your UI UX person, when you meet a customer or when you are interviewing a customer, they can shadow you without talking, and that gives them a better business understanding than why you have to do that. This actually inculcates also the customer first thinking. I hope that answers your question, right?
Got it, your point. And single, just give me a 2 minutes more.
Yes.
When we are thinking about the AI for a developer thing,
Hmm.
as a developer, the people actually I'm working in a black box AI from past 2 or 3 months,
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
the developer tool will be working as fine as like Cody, and and they write the code in very well manner. So how the AI is impacted in the developer role also, because as you guide us on the new roles in AI, but what are the major impact it's doing the AI in, or what are the basic impact the AI is doing in the developer role, and like the coding will be totally dependent on AI, or we need some coders who think a new task, or who thinks a new intelligence, like everything will be made by a developer tool. So the developer tool is now is developing only a code of type, and we guide the AI also, and he will write for us for new code. So there is any impact of the developer way. So it's type of a thing like we did not suggest uh, a developer. Actually, I uh, totally said that there is an impact of developers persons is AI.
Okay, but see, the thing is, AI is writing the code that is taken, right? That is why you have already found that there is a, I forgot, I think it is Kevin or something, Kevin, right? Something, the first ever developer, AI developer that came to the thing. But what, see, if everybody if using blindly the AI code, it is also, lot to what is the prompt that you have given, what has been the objective of the prompt, what is the output of the prompt, what has been the problem. It's all about how do you set the context setting and you tell the problem, and then based on the problem what is that you are trying to do. It is an experiment. Even if you are taking the coding help from the AI, they need to experiment it out, and this is where the PM should work with the developer, saying that please don't trust 100% on the AI, take this as an experimentation and see that. And they need to use their own coding as well to question that if this is giving me the desired outcome. If it is not, then you have to do the chain prompting to make sure things are there. But at the end of the day, what is very important is doing that experiment, three or four set of experiments, while writing the code differently, by knowing business outputs are, in each case the business outputs are different, and see if that code has reflected in the right set of actions that the customer would be doing. Or if it is your UI UX improvement, or if it is that you want one specific let's say the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, you want to bring your customers who were only doing the surface research on your website, but now you want them to get inside the particular product page. And from the product page, they should click on that the data sheet download, and then they also click on in the contact cells, or they should click on the the click for a demo, the take a demo, or try for free, these kind of things. So if if for this particular journey, you need to have three or four set of experiments by doing. Maybe one is UI UX improvement you are doing. Second thing is not going to these four stages, but the customer can get into the first step to directly to the step four. So what is your objective? And this is where your AI coding can help. But at the end of the day, your output, when you are actually checking with the developer, has it given the desired output based on these experiments you should follow? Does is this clear? So
Yeah.
don't, my two key takeaways. Yes, we need to use AI coding, but we need to also ask the question and give the right prompt. And until and unless we get the desired prompt, what we are really looking out of these experiments, we should be using our human thinking and scrutinizing very carefully what is the output, and is this output is desirable from this experiment. So this is where PM works very closely, whether it is a developer, whether it is your let's say the engineering the head, you need to make them give that kind of customer first thinking. That is what is missing, because they are always in the office and doing coding or chasing their sprint, chasing their timeline, chasing their number of tickets got resolved. But that is not the aim. That is a very internal way of thinking. It is not a customer first thinking.
Got it, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the next one. So some of the key concepts that you should know, and I don't want you to that, go through this, but understand, see, as a PM, you will not, you may write the code, that is up to you. But as a PM, your thing is understand the business, understand the customer problem, understand the organization vision and how it cascades to your own goals and your OKR, or, whatever the KPI that you guys run, that has to have the similarity with sales, marketing, engineering, your strategic leadership, your the person who is working on the the launch side of it, right, and even the person who has the sponsor of this project. You need to make sure they are all coming together. So some of these key concepts. First one is the supervised learning. The simple thing for the supervised learning is, here every data has a level, and in the input that you are giving, through that it is labeled to that particular. So let's say you are saying the date of birth, name, that, let's think of a simple form. And here when you are labeling, the name will be, the labeled as the customer first name, then the second name is the last name. You are asking the particular the, let's say, date of birth, or you are doing a kind of the verification. So this is where your input data is labeled, and use AI is using those input data, and to identify that how these input data will help to predict the output. So for example, the how do we do this fraud detection? Let's say, let's take an example, right? So the fraud detection is when you are, let's say you are on the bank website from your mobile or from your laptop, you are actually using the bank website. And now when you have given the user ID and the password, the first thing is you should never save those passwords, right? And even though you are using the passwords, use the complex the generator of the password like OnePass, or there are many other tools. You create your password which is unbreakable. The pattern is very difficult for anyone who is currently trying to hack when you are giving the data, so that you yourself is safeguarding. So what is happening here is, let's say the case one, the person has given a very simple password, and it's the same password he or she uses for every website, everything, because it is easy to remember. There is a hacker who understands, and they know that they have actually decoded the password pattern. And the next time when you have not logged in, they have hacked, and they have also identified that, okay, if they have somehow got access to your bank, and they have taken the all the money out of the bank. So now what AI does here is, AI is identifying your password pattern. AI is also identifying the way you generally use the system, and it is also kind of given that data passing to the hacker also has the same technology, you are also using the same technology. So in this case, hacker has already identified the pattern, and this is where AI comes and say that, okay, if this is your password pattern, you have seen like most of the cases we have been asked to change our password every now and then, because to break the pattern. So here AI can automatically identifying that, okay, because of this you will be getting a kind of proning into more fraud attack, or things will happen. So this is where it is doing the detection, and it is also preventing such kind of fraud pattern, or such kind of fraud activities that is going to happen going forward. This is the good part of using AI, by knowing the way you use your data that has been defined, and that is for your predict outcome. Now look for the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is, we don't have any data that is leveled. So the input data is totally unleveled, and AI identifies, or unsupervised learning, the machine learning, they go through the data, they understand the cluster if it is there, if there are some data which is more or less on the same layer, or as per your output that is desired, on that output line more or less your data are residing. So there are outliers, but the outliers are very less, and most of your data is falling on the same outcome line or the output line. So this is where uh, AI understand machine learning goes through the data. They try to group the data based on some common characteristics, like let's say based on the region, based on the age, based on your food pattern. If you're using a kind of a food app to check how is your calorie intake, or it can think of the based on your sleep pattern, it can tell you what could be the the next risk if you are not sleeping enough, or so those are the cases. Or even for customer segmentation, where we typically use unsupervised learning, is we don't have any relation on any of those variables. We give the data, and it is more of an exploratory data analysis, where we use the unsupervised learning. You guys can read more, and that would be the task for the day, that please read more and understand how things work, because a PM can then guide the ML engineer or a data scientist that this is where you should be using unsupervised learning. If you go totally ignorant where it is being used, where it is not being used, can we use both together? This is where a PM comes from the business background giving, right? So you should ask what kind of model you are using. Can you show me the model? Can you show me the data that you have fed to train the systems? Are you yourself able to analyze the data and see is there any anomalies other than the data anomalies or the other check that they have done? So you are a person who is a guardian of the data that they are using, how they are using the data. Everything should be asked, written, so that tomorrow if you are changing the data set, the change management, those records are also with you. So this is where the AI PM is coming to the picture, and they are helping the organization to think that how I am using the data, right? How it is helping. Is it a supervised learning or unsupervised? When to take what set? Now coming to the NLP, you all know it's a human-like language. The way we talk, we use those long question, we use those long tail keywords, and this is what computer when we started this human language coding and the decoding part of it. Previously, we are very bad, but now AI is doing a good job in understanding the complexity part of the human language, able to understand the emotion, the sentiment, and able to tell that okay, what answers to be given and things like that. So that is about your natural language processing. When we are building any AI tool, so let's say internally you are creating a market research and comparative intelligence tool. The objective being here is that if we wanted to do the research of our go-to-market strategy, or we are asking our competitors' product insights and what has been their go-to-market strategy vis-a-vis what should I look at, and I don't want to be another me too person, using the same strategy what the competitor is using. This is where you are creating this market research and the CI tool. So it should have all the different type of questions the organization can ask. It should also include the natural language processing, but it should also include all the research data from all the websites, plus your internal research documents on the competition. So you should give both. And you should also have that if this is the question being asked by any of the organization person, this should be the answer. So this is where you are going to use the natural language processing and understand some how do I say, sarcastic thing, or some inputs have been has been used by AI and that research tool, and when the person asked, they get a altogether different answer. There should be a feedback mechanism that does this help you, what more you can ask some more questions. Generally a co-pilot, when you go, or you go to chat GPT, or you go to anywhere, Claude or Perplexity, you use Mistral or whatever it is. I would say that please don't use DeepSeek. Don't use any Chinese tool, because you don't know what is there, what kind of data is getting hacked, and what is how are they interpreting the data. It's a national security risk wherever you go. So just be cognizant of what you use. But at the end of the day, when there are those comments sarcastic, how do you navigate that? So have additional set of question. Does this help? Do you want me to change this? So this kind of question the AI tool should be asking, and that is where you should have natural language thing. Now, then moving to the next part, that is the computer vision. Now, the computer vision is something that it is able to understand all those images and able to tell that and recognize this. It is so. Let's say you put your how do I say this? Your image. Like if I go to airport and there is this Digi Yatra enabled, right? You have already put all the data, and also the moment you go, they see your face and it understands. Okay, this guy's data is all stored, and then the door opens and you go. Uh, so this is a kind of a thing where you are using your images, your videos along with your data and able to recognize that person. And this is where you will see more and more usage of the computer vision. But also the negative side of it, you have given your facial images, you have given your the other than your data, there are other identity that you have given. So nothing is in today's world is secure. So just be mindful of, I always tell that the Ghibli image also, for example, when we all gave our images on chat GPT and asked to create the Ghibli image, right? But what you have already done, a very big problem here is you have given your own entire image, which is you, and anything can be simulated, anything can be impersonated. So be careful of how are we using things, even though it is company secured, firewall secured, these secured, that secured, but at the end of the day, nothing is. So ask that question: how much to use, what extent we can go, what kind of policies that we have used when you are using computer vision, what kind of tools and systems we are using, how big when it coming to the data, privacy side of it, how is the company's reputation from where you have bought it. So have all these questions work as a AI board kind of a person, on the board. These are the kind of questions you can create a AI tiger committee where a person gives that kind of business understanding, do a lot of research, feeling comfortable that my data is secured on this tool, that I'm using. So that is where I would say a little bit no to computer vision, but yeah, utilize what is really, really meaningful and have these all your questions to be answered. Recommendation systems, you all know, when we go to Mintra or Flipkart or Amazon, and you see, or Netflix even, right? You see your kind of movies are being predicted, or your kind of dresses, new accessories. They show you the kind of customized new arrival that has come. They also predict when you are checking out. They also say, okay, people like you also bought these, right? So that at the end of the day, they are increasing the bucket size, right? So this is where your recommendation systems come. And read more. The more you read, all see, the main objective of this course is help you think as a human and help you read those different case studies. From that you get lot of insights that how these things have been used, and therefore if I have to work better as a AI PM in my organization, what is that I should do? That is the kind of inculcating the thinking, the reasoning, utilizing the data, tools, process, people. Very important. Important thing is people. How do you really convince that people? Because people say, oh, my job will be now at stake because I'm using this AI tool. No, your job is not at stake because your AI is telling us these things, which is very positive, but AI is not telling these things, which is negative. So this is where we should actually decode the AI and think where we should AI be used. So this is the kind of thing that we should inculcate throughout the course. Have your senses be alert what you are doing it. The last one is the classification and the regression. The classification, as I said, it is more or less, you when you are using a data, you are assigning it to a variable. You are giving them, like classifying that. So for example, in your email, if you have to clean your email, you need to identify, is this the right email, is it the junk email, is it a promotional email. So the other day what happens, I'll just give you my own experience. So I use my company Outlook, right? And I was working with my CEO every now and then. There are a lot of calls happens in a day. um so somehow I went to my personal Gmail, and there was an email that came to my personal Gmail. I felt that is useful, and I forwarded that email from my personal Gmail to the Outlook. The next day, I see I got an email from my CEO in my personal Gmail asking that how are you doing today? you can easily make out that this is a spam, right? Because my CEO will never ask me this question. This is very unusual. Sometimes you also see those emails where you have not given the interview, but then you got an interview letter, right? Again, it's very much spam. So how do you, without clicking those emails, reading their subject line, understand and what kind of behavior you have done, so that those what you call the spoofing thing, or those this kind of emails that comes to you. So what I understood, my learning was that I should have forwarded that email, or I should have taken a screenshot or something, or I would have written it down, the key things, and not necessarily put it to my Outlook email. So that behavior, if I would have stopped, I would have not got these emails. So things like that. Similarly, when you identify that sometimes email engine understand that this is a spam, right? And you go to the spam and you find some of these things are not really a spam. So you then categorize this that this is not a spam, and then from next time onward, this comes to your email inbox, and it is not landing to the spam. So this is where classification helps to identify, is it a spam or a not spam. Whereas for regression is a continuous data that keeps coming. So let's say house today you have seen that RBI has reduced the repo rate, right? It's a good for all the people who want to buy home. Now, if you do a historical analysis, a regression analysis here, that last 3 years how this repo rate has worked, right? And you will find that at the end of every year there is an average repo rate, but 2025 being an exception where the repo rate has been extremely low. So you will be using this data, and you can command, or you can predict, if in my last 2 years my sales volume has been X because of the repo rate, and you know the customers buying pattern of houses in that particular tier one, in that particular the budget that they work, your expected sales volume will increase. So this is where regression works, when there is a continuous data and you do a good historical analysis, and this is where the regression works, and it will tell you or predicts the sales volume. So when your manager asks you that what would be your KPI, you can always say, look, I have done this historical analysis, this is the data that I have set, or these are the inputs that I have used, and based on that I predict that the sales volume will increase. This is the industry size. You can have a pessimistic, you can have a forward or optimistic, or you can be an average person thinking like that. So you can take what kind of you a very risk taker person, risk averse person, or you are an average person, neither here neither there, and come up with your KPI. And always mention the source. That always helps you when you are actually completing your KPI, and let's say you have achieved the number that you are committed. That makes everyone comfortable, because based on what you have taken the data, right? So this is also a kind of a boardroom or a strategic thinking. When you are developing your KPI, please give every information to everyone so that they know. Okay, so with that, I will, any questions, guys, on this? I will have one or two slides on the supervised and the unsupervised learning, so that you can work with your AI and ML team much better way now where we are.
So Deepta, just one question.
Hmm.
Yeah, so wanted to understand whatever we have been discussing here was the touch points, while a product is already launched.
Mm-hmm.
And suppose it is a new app that is being developed and needs to be launched into the market. What would be the strategy or right frame to do so? Because the points that we've been discussing are more related to a product that has already been launched and is working. And then we have data already.
Correct. So, so that we will have a specific section to talk about when I get into that product strategy. You have it in module 2 or 3, and we will show, before you create a strategy for a product that is being launched, or you need to do at least 4 or 5 set of experiments on the data, on your MVP that you are creating, on the prototype that you are developing, even the GTM strategy that you have created. There also you are doing the experimentation, that whether you need a direct sales force or you will go with the partner. In your product launch, what is that lean agile model that you will take, that will easy to create, but it is also higher impact as customer feedback has been given, but also low effort. So how will you really, as a PM, you should focus that you are optimally using your resources meaning the resources in your team, the resources in the other engineering, your ML and sorry UI UX, and your sales and marketing resources. So a PM always sets the vision and ensure everyone as per your close team, or your the tiger team, if I say, or let's say a bigger team who are working all for this particular product launch. You are able to give them the vision that what is this product supposed to do, how are we creating this product, vision, mission, the MVP, why we have created this, what kind of data we have taken, why we have not considered the other things. These kind of things are needed when a product has not been launched, and this is where we will be discussing in the product strategy, and I'll show you the AI tools how do we do that. So currently, just park your question on this slide. This is not the question that we will be taking it now, but this is more of a very conceptual learning, that whereas a PM can ask that what data set you have used, what is the test data, what is the training data, can you show me the training data, I also would like to analyze and see if I am getting the similar answer. Take a 200 or 300 rows data and understand the thing, so that you are able to and help your AI and ML, that before it is too late, that the data set that you have taken, it is totally wrong, but you can do your own intelligence and say that, okay, I have taken this, and this is fairly good. So you create that confidence between you and also with the same team you are working. That's the objective of this slide.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. So moving on to the next slide. Any other questions?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, ma'am. So the same thing, ma'am. To add to that, so whenever, first question is till what level of each models a PM should know, like the framework or the logic behind each models. Second thing, whenever I give a problem statement, my ML engineer or data science, the only underlying thing is the data. So they say we don't have the enough data, or if we ask to prepare synthetic data, they won't mimic the real data. So how to tackle that problem? So I always
So,
come back
yeah.
with this same thing.
Yeah,
In
that is exactly, I said that as a PM has to have this experimentation mindset, and I will show you tools where you can do the experiments, you can gather the insights, and this tool is integrated with Jira or kind of tool that the developers are using, and you can show them,
okay,
look, this is the experiment I have done, and this is the insight we have got, and this gives me a better confidence rate in the experiment, and that's why we should be using this particular, creating this new feature, and also have that effort versus impact analysis. That's a very powerful way to have a conversation and convince not just your developer or not just your sales and marketing, but when you are asking for doing this project, and asking more sponsors from different teams, you should go with that data, even though you don't have any data because the product has not launched, but the experimentation is very powerful. And for every PM has to inculcate that questions and have that experimentation strategy, which we'll talk more when we come to the product strategy part of it, right?
okay. Even getting the initial data set is just challenging sometimes, ma'am. Like,
Yeah, no, it will not be challenging, and I'll tell you how to run the experiments. It's all based on the organization's goal. So let's say the organization wants to be 3x better in customer experience. Now it
mhm,
percolated to all those products, all those services where we want to be 3x in customer experience increase. What does it mean? Now again, you translate it in a very, very simple way that your organization can digest, and your organization can run this. So in terms of user experience, so you will look for your product launch, there has been no data, but your product theory has evolved here, that because we want to improve this customer experience, these are the elements where the customer was manually asking, calling different channels, or they had some kind of on the website we have seen that they have given us some of the comments. So we feel that how do we reduce that friction and improve their experience. This is something spoken needs, but then as a PM you should also understand how do I give that extra sweetener which they have not asked for, right?
mhm.
And based, so everything is documented, what has been your assumption, what are the learning that you have got from different other tools, where it is not your new product launch data, but at least you got some cues, the way consumer comes to your website, they interact with your other channel, and you need to go and gather that data. There are tools, as I told you, like Hotjar is there, Google Analytics is there, you
Okay.
have your web console, which we learn, okay, as a part.
Kaggle you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
Kaggle.
yeah.
Okay.
So we will do that. Okay, now let's
Okay.
don't ponder on this too much. But my only key takeaways from this slide is that please ask them, what is the data model look like? Can you send me the data model? I also want to look at it. So if they are working on some 10,000 rows of data, you need take a random data set in between of the, you know, the 10,000 rows. You just take any mid data, let's say 500 to 800 data you are taking, row number 500 to row number 800, or take row number 200 to row number 600. And what you do, there are tools like Data Squirrel, of course, buy the paid version. Okay, you can also use Claude, attach that, and say that I am doing this analysis. And this is exactly what is prompt engineering. And I'll give you those assignments also. And one or two cases, we'll also do it in the class when we move forward. So this is where you would be giving that instruction that I am trying to develop this tool. And this is the outcome that we are expecting. Typically the template fashion, right? And then you say that I have a glimpse of the data set which I'm attaching here. My objective is the following: 1, 2, 3. What is that you are trying to understand from the data set? And then you are asking the AI, can you do an analysis and tell what are the anomalies? If you would have been that particular product manager, what has been your analysis? What has been your prediction? What has been your insights through that? Is there anything that is not right? And I should ask as a product manager. So AI will do the deep research, AI will do the deep learning, and AI is just helping you. Don't trust everything what AI gives. But yes, at least you got another opinion from another tool, that okay, what you thought and what is the AI tool is thinking, are your thinking is matching somewhere? Is it too totally different? If it is totally different, then there is something wrong. But if it is matching, at least 50, more than 50% insights is matching with your and the data, that means you are assured that okay, yes, I am on the right line, and the AI has also predicted the same. So this is the way you can actually take the, you know, tip of the iceberg of the huge data, and understand what the engineer or the, yeah, your ML person has identified, and what you have also seen, it is matching. That is what is needed. Got it. Now, moving to the next slide. I hope no more questions, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm not sure whether you can see the full thing. So this is about the supervised learning. Supervised learning, as I said, it is taking every data, it is labeling it. So, and labeling it means it is actually storing in a variable form. So let's say I can tell a even number equal to 2, right? 2 is an even number. Or let's say 4, 6, and odd numbers 1, 3, and 1 is also a primary number, right? So 3, 5, 7, 9, these are your odd number, correct? So here you are storing your odd number, even number 2 in your memory, that this is the even number, this is the odd number, and then you say okay, a plus b, or 2 is given a, and let's say 3 is given b, and then you are asking what is a plus b. So it will take the label data, and then it will say a plus b is equal to 5. So this is typically the supervised learning, where you have your input which is labeled, and your input is paired with the output. Output means here the a plus b is your, it is actually giving you the output. So you know, because your inputs are already coded or paired, and therefore your output would be using those input values and producing the output. So this is where, if you see, there are different types of supervised learning that we do. One is the linear regression. Remember, I was giving these examples that what you call, when regression is a continuous number. I gave you this real estate, that repo rate that has fallen, right? And because of that, we can expect the sales volume will increase by 3x. How did you identify that sales volume will increase by 3x and not by 2x or 4x? You need to come up with your own reasoning, that this is what I have seen last 3 years. I have seen the average repo rate has been this. I have taken these 4 metro cities where I have seen the number of houses are being bought per month. a product manager also has to be a data person, and this is what I'm trying to tell through my slides, that don't just take it when you get anything from a data science team or your sales team or marketing team or your engineering team. Have that questioning ability, have that way to understand the information that you have gathered is the right. So do your own calculation also. So linear regression is typically that thing that your repo rate in the last 2 years, where let's say 7%, but now your repo rate is 4%. So in the last 2 years, your data is mostly falling here, but now your repo rate is this. So your sales, this is, let's say this is your sales. Okay, and this is the input that you have got, the what has been the reported, and this is your the sales that is your predicting. So sales is a dependent variable, and the reported is your the x-axis. So based on that, you know that now the repo rate has fall. Whenever the repo rate has fall, increase house buying has gone increase. So this is your actual, this dot line is your actual output line. And if your data is falling, because if you can draw a graph, right? We have all drawn graphs, right? X and Y numbers. So you have seen when the repo rate was high, the sales was low. When the repo rate has been low, sales has been high. So in this case, if you assume your graph should looks like all these small circles should be higher here, because your repo rate has been fall, and your Y should be somewhere here. So this dotted line should have been somewhere here, because your sales has increased because your repo rate has fallen, and therefore your sales has increased. Your Y would be higher and repo rate would be somewhere around here. So this is where it helps you to understand, is my data is sanitized? Am I getting the right input logically if I think this should be the output? But am I also getting the output when I do this linear regression? You don't have to do the linear regression, but it is the common data set that you have picked up. And if you see what is the input and what is the output, you yourself will know, is the data right? So this is what I'm trying to mean. There is another supervised learning that you see, that is a called nested or a tree structure. It is typically, it tells you that uh, let's say you want to buy this Ferrari, or or any other thing, and you have a specific your own calculated way of when to buy Ferrari and when not to buy Ferrari. So let's say um, if the color is red, and if the color is red, and your model that you are looking is greater than 2010 model, if this is yes, then go ahead and buy. But if the model is not greater than, you don't want to buy your old Ferrari, right? Let's say you are repurchasing that, right? So then in that case, if the model is not greater than 2010, but it is giving mileage less than this, based on your budget, you may think still buying it, right? So this is a kind of a logical way of running things, that and for anything, think now in terms of this in your PM aspect. There would be a lot of debate, healthy debate, of course. You will get that why this feature and why not this feature, right? X, this is the feature, and Y is the other side of it. Now, for X, Y, you have to have enough data points, supporting points, that why you should do X. So these data points will come from your experiments if you are launching the product, or the product that has been already launched. You have lot of insights from customer feedback, early adopter interviews, customer testimonials, what has been the sales interaction when they have gone and met your top customers, what has been the marketing campaign results, what has been, you have done some offline summit with the customer, let's say it's a user summit, and there you have interacted with the customers, and then they say, you know what, your current feature is good, but what if we can also do this? The customer is giving you an idea. Now what a PM should think, that how big is the idea? How many customers has said this to me? Are you going to take 1 out of 1,000 customers idea, or you are going to take at least 40 or 50 customers have said the same thing, out of 1,000 idea? That is where PM thinking is needed, right? So this is where you use this kind of a logical analysis or a nested structure, and then, gather these insights. So on the other side, let's say the red is not there, it is an yellow, but you will still buy if it is a Ferrari. Okay, and if you will not buy, of course, any other thing, and it is not really focusing on this. So overall, what I'm trying to say, that supervised learning works on the level input and output is paired. Identifying the classification is important, like where it is actually getting used. I gave you the email example, spam versus not spam, right? uh, Linear regression, where you are working on continuous data values and you are able to predict the x and y is always the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. And it requires looking at the some set of the data that you ask from your data science team or data analytics team, and just to check from your own side that is the insight right. And that's it. I think that is what you need to know. Moving to this next slide. So this is the unsupervised learning. And as I told you, when you don't know anything about your input and you just want to see what the ML, machine learning, understand from those common characteristics that is available in the data. So let's say all of them are from the same city, all of them are female, or all of them are male. All of them have a similar food habits. All of them buy at a certain time of the year when they buy more. And all of them has some kind of common characteristics what they buy. Is it an aspirational? Is it an impulse? Is it a ethnic? Or there is a I would say regional based buying or cultural based buying. You can identify, and here the input is not paired, so therefore it gives a lot more freedom to the ML algorithm to first you analyze the data, identify those common characteristics, then you try to group the data, and then you see what kind of insights you are getting. And typical example where we use this is the customer segmentation, where we have seen that when we get the data from Google Analytics, or let's say you are doing an ad campaign, and ad campaign is you got data from India vis-a-vis Japan, vis-a-vis let's say France, and vis-a-vis let's say US, and also vis-a-vis Latin America. And of course you use it all in the common language, convert the data. And then you see that what is the common behavior in Latin America versus US? What is the common behavior Japan versus India? What is the common behavior of all these regional data that you have collected? And then you identify, okay, how will I segment my customer? Is it based on the region? Is it based on their common buying approaches? Is it based on the discount related behavior? You need to understand. So this is where we use unsupervised learning, and we use it for telling this, let's do an exploratory data analysis, but not knowing how we are going to segment the data, but we will learn from AI and ML algorithms. And this is very useful compared to the classified thing. uh, in this case, you are actually also identify some of those hidden relationships which you didn't know earlier, and let the AI and ML engine works and tells you also some of the hidden relationships. So that gives you a much more freedom. It gives you widening your horizon, the way you think, and some of the great insights that you have not identified in the supervised learning, but in the unsupervised learning we do this. So unsupervised learning would be useful when you do the experiment, when you are discussing about your which feature, when you are identifying. I don't know how to start and improve my 3x experience, which is the organization vision. But let me do this small different types of experiment. One is from supervised learning, one is from unsupervised learning, and then you are able to match and identify and take a very calculated risk that okay, if I do this, 10 experiments I've done, 4 are from unsupervised, 6 are from supervised. And these are the things that we get more insights from unsupervised. Therefore, we as a team are taking this decision. These are the assumptions. This is the input we have taken, and this is the outcome. When you write and you give this to all those departments, they feel much more comfortable talking to you, because you are not saying something bluff in the air. You have a very uh, data driven analysis, and this is exactly where we ask and work as a team. Now let me go to the next slide. Some of the AI use cases. In the product manager, I talked about the customer segment, and I also gave you some example. I talked about also the churn prediction, gave you some example. Demand forecasting also we talked about when we were talking about the previous slide, the linear regression, right? Now, personalized recommendation also, Myntra and all of these, mostly in the B2C retail e-commerce space, you will find this. And you will also find this, let's say in the B2B scenario, if I think, uh, there is a customer who buys the customer loyalty, CLV, if we say the customer lifetime value, we will learn more when we get into those product metrics, and as per user journey what metrics to be assigned, we'll talk about this. But for now, just know this: customer lifetime value is the time they have become your customer, and throughout the time period, every year the customer is buying some amount, and you can actually get the data from your CRM, and do an analysis that how is it going, is there any specific year that he is buying more, what has been in that year, why he has bought more, is this a specific new product release, is it a new feature release, is it a kind of a government mandate they have to comply with, what has been the reason, and that gives you an insight that okay, if this year customer CLV has been the highest, and the CLV is all these years, whatever the customer has bought, you do a sum up, and then you understand that this is your overall CLV, right? In a very, very layman's term, right? Um, but based on the CLV of every year, you can then identify where there is a spike, what has been the reason of the spike, and if you want to do the same thing in your upcoming years, getting that same spike, what it means for your product, what it means for your total five forces. We will learn those macroeconomic and the microeconomic things, meaning that what is a global compliance regime that is going on, what is the current technology trend, what is your competitors current, the number of competitor, how fragmented is your market is, what is the entry to that market, how good to do business in that market, what are the legal framework that you need to think of, what are the political framework that you need to think of, and this all this comes under porters. And also there is another framework that we learned, pestel, PESTEL. Environmental also you need to think, because now it is ESG, a lot of, is it a good for the planet, people, so those things also we need to think. So this is what we will be learning, and that's based on that we can then do things. So that's about your recommendation. And of course, roadmap planning, also we will be doing a lot of prototyping. We will learn different tools like Bolt, Lovable, where you can actually create a prototype. Generally to create a prototype it takes months, and but you are creating this in a few seconds, and you are sharing that to your UI UX team, and then your development team, and tell that, look, this is what the kind of prototype I'm looking forward, can you help me to build it. That makes it better uh, for them to visualize, and the more they visualize, and then they become your friend. That is where you create the rapport, and then they work with as per your goals, and of course on the organization goals. So we learn those things. Let me get into this. Okay guys, any questions so far? Okay, so if there are no questions, now we will learn some of those tools that I really wanted you to know. So this market research is very much a part in today. It has become a norm where we do use a lot of AI tools, and it definitely helps you to do research faster. It gives you some of the insights that you as a human are not able to get, and it helps you to automate things faster based on this research. What is that your prediction should be, what should be the need of this customer segment, if I need to create this feature targeting these customer segments, what are my features look like vis-a-vis to other segments, and so on and so forth. And that gives you that gives you more deepening your insight. And definitely it also at the back end it is running a lot of multiple data points, and helps you to identify the new trends that is coming, or in the current trend, how you can use the current trend and do the research that would be insightful for your product creation, or for your product next product roadmap, given your product is already launched. This three things we will learn today, and with those prompt and the template that I was talking. The first thing first, uh, the pros and cons of these different tools. You will learn Shorter Loop. It's an AI-based product management tool, and it's a US-based, Netherlands, and then in India, and then they are in other countries as well. They are compliant with USA GDPR, EU GDPR, EU version of GDPR, India data privacy and the compliance, even though it has not come out, but yeah, it works on that. And here, the most beautiful thing is that when you are using the tool internally, and let's say you have, you are also trying to give it to, you have given it to your customers. So Shorter Loop customers, when they gather these tools, they gather their data in these tools. Here, the key thing is internal Shorter Loop employees don't have the visibility of what data is being collected. It is getting compartmentalized, and it is also, in respect of those GDPR laws. Um, and it has a different data servers in different countries, because US law says that my data will stay with my country. EU also says the same. So they have data servers in Germany, Frankfurt, and they have data server in US, and they also have a data server in India. So that way, it gives a lot more comfort based on that company who is in working with Indian customer vis-a-vis, other customers. So it's a lot more protected too. And so this is one thing. And the cons is, yeah, they haven't done much publicity other than in US and Netherlands, but in the last 2 years, they have done a lot of publicity in India and the APAC. And so that is one thing that you can take. Claude, Claude is good in, you attach Excel sheet, you ask some specific reasoning question. Claude is good in, doing those summarization part of it. It gives you more context. It also, helps you to think better as a person, right? But on the other side, any AI tools has this aspect of hallucination. A lot of fake data, wrong data has been given and embedded in such a way you human cannot understand. But you need to know when it is hallucinating. You need to be able to verify those data that you are getting from tools like that. And sometimes, in any AI tool, one thing I have always given you this caution, that the data privacy, how it is being used, go through this data privacy laws, reach out to the Claude team and ask that in these circumstances, how do you get those insights, or ask your legal to, interact with them before you sign up some, because you are buying an enterprise grade license, and you need to ensure that the data is fully secured. How are they reusing the data in the data model? That is very important. Perplexity also, it's the same thing on the con side, but Perplexity gives you a real data URL. It gives you the URL, and even ChatGPT, the paid version, also gives you the URL. Uh, and that way, Perplexity does a lot of good market research, just like Pod, but it also gives you a deep customer segmentation behavior. It also helps you. So let's say if you have these use cases, you need to create a GTM strategy, go-to-market strategy for one of your product launches, and you give Perplexity this attachment that this is the data I have. This is what the outcome, this is that I'm looking for. This is the organizational overall objective. And when I, cascade it to my department, this is the objective that I have taken. Please, if you are working, as me, please look into the data sets and tell me what has been the right thing, what is the right GTM strategy should be. I am going to launch the product in 2 to 3 markets. What should be my each market local strategy and also the global strategy? And Perplexity will do a good job and give you the insights. But of course, humanize it. See what more you can add. Don't just blindly copy it. So these are the some of the things that we will learn. Um, so now, among all these tools, why I believe Shorter Loop, and the first thing is the data stays secured, and it is very, very upfront talking about how the data privacy and the data usage has been done. Their website is very open, and they have talked how what circumstances, what data would be used. Not everyone is that transparent. And as I said, the internal team, internal shorter loop team cannot see the customer's data or the customer's workspace data. It has its own AI engine, that is its own AI algorithm built, and not necessarily coming from any of these LLMs or any of this chat GPT or Claude and Perplexity. So therefore it is more robust. And based on any product that you want to launch from any segments of the industry, it does a good job from the AI Copilot shorter loop AI Copilot stage. And it has a high accuracy because it doesn't do that hallucination, compared to any other AI tool. Now, and it has been continuously being trained and improvising by the data science team that they have. Now let's see, we are getting closer to the assignment side of it. So I talked about that why you have to do computative intelligence using AI tools, because they do much better job rather than only a human working on with a limited set of inputs and limited set of thinking and the reasoning and the decision making. And three things of these tools, as you see, shorter loop, we will do this market research and I'll show you. Perplexity, as I said, computer positioning, and the takeaway is definitely that um, you can use all three tools in random, okay, and then match the results, identify which is the best result you are getting as a PM, and then put your own PPT and convince your stakeholders. So use as necessary, and to make you look smart in front of your audience, you should be knowing how to use these tools, take the best output based on these tools, and then or maybe merging or taking all the outputs, if you think those all the outputs are better, create your own presentation, and yeah, go ahead and showcase and make it better. Now getting to the next slide. I always love doing this case study, and I when I was learning, my own thing in IIM and other universities where I have, where I was learning and I was also mentoring. So we always do these case studies, and these case studies helps you to think better as a person, that how are these things meaning in my environment? What is that I should do? What is that one thing that I can take from this case study? And let me do an experiment and see where I am. So these are the things. That's why we go through the case study. So Netflix is one of the popular case studies that we know when it comes to recommendation, do the A/B testing, the kind of content that they have. There are some more than 260 million users Netflix has, right? And 1972 is when they started. So Netflix, if you don't know, Netflix started as a DVD rental service, right? The two owners, they started looking into, because that was the time the DVD was very popular, and then they used to take those DVD and they used to sell it to their stores. But literally using the technology, OTT revolution happened, and they were the first one to come into this OTT revolution. They wanted to ensure that while doing this, what it means for them to focus big on the tools. So they have huge data servers where they collect the data of each country, each language wise. They see those customers' behavior, what kind of the movies they are choosing, what time frame they are looking at their movies. So weekend the movie viewing is higher vis-a-vis after 10 p.m. once they come back, if it is a working professional. For a senior citizen, what is the kind of behavior? For a the teenagers, the Gen Z, so they have all these information, and based on that, their AI engine is very robust, and it firstly understands and gives you that kind of recommendations, and it does all of these. For example, it does your content personalization, as I said, but it also the thumbnail that they choose, say that you are a very data savvy person vis-a-vis a person who is new to Netflix. The person who has been in Netflix and they are using the data savvy, for them they will show you a very illustrious good way of make it appealing to you, so that you click on that thumbnail. Seeing that thumbnail, you click on that movie and read that little bit of extract or the summary of the movie. Whereas if it's a person is the first time coming to Netflix, for them the thumbnail would be very minimal, because even Netflix doesn't have a data first time visitor, so Netflix is also learning. So they do a lot of A/B testing with the thumbnails that they see, and then they show the image. Content acquisition, knowing that kind of movie that you watch. So for example, you are a sci-fi people, right? You always want sci-fi, the other person is focused on more of a drama. So the Netflix will show and continuously curate those library for you, so that you have more on drama because you are a drama watching person, and the other person is more on the sci-fi thing. So the acquisition also works very differently based on your personal behavior. And churn prevention is Netflix, if you have seen that, with the same subscription, you can watch Netflix on your TV, you can watch Netflix on your mobile devices as well, right? So previously, or they also give this family viewing thing. So previously Netflix didn't have that, and it was highly priced. It is still highly priced, but then they have started giving these features. So I don't mind if my son is watching on a mobile device something else, vis-a-vis I am watching in my I have created different account, and in my account I am watching a sci-fi. So that way, they do a good job, and they are able to protect their, the retention of the customers in that way. So that's it. Let me get into these things. Now let's have some group discussion before I showcase those three tools, and then you will have the assignments. Um, we are now at 9. Okay, we have another 1.5 hour. Good timing. So let's have three people in a group or two people in a group. You choose. We'll give you 10 minutes to discuss. Okay. You can need not to break out. You mean like you can take 10 minutes, and then think. So think of a product that you use frequently, maybe a B2C product, B2B product. You take it. It is open to discussion. But in that group, everyone will take the same product. And how do you think that AI might be working behind the scenes, right? If you have a notepad, please write down all those aspects of the AI can work, right from gathering the data of their customers, how the data is being used in showing something that actually motivates their customers to do something, where AI is not being used and it can be used. Think of all of these things, and 10 minutes you get to discuss, and then 5 minutes to present. So now the time is 9. I will give you 10 minutes, 9, 10 to think, and then every team will take 2 minutes. So 6 minutes. So 9:16. Up to 9:16, we should complete the exercise. Okay, so are you guys okay? Any questions? You just can create the team randomly. 1 minute. Let me see. Stop sharing. Okay, so in my first row, I see Arun, I see Yotsna and Raj. If you guys want to make a two people team, then Arun and Yotsna make a team. Raj and Mahant, you guys are in another group number 2. And then Vishnu and Sindhuja, you are in group number 3. And I will share my screen so that you guys can see what is exercise, and then, go ahead from there.
Ma'am, are you going to create a breakout groups?
Oh, need not to create a breakout. You guys can be in the same screen, but you can actually use your maybe WhatsApp or something like this, and just talk, get each other's number, and just talk, and then have one person who will come and present. I'll give you because we are doing the first time exercise. I'll give you till 9:20. So take 15 minutes to discuss, and then every person comes, another 6 minutes, 2 minutes each person to talk, right? So till 9:20. So 18 minutes are there now. Guys, just go and talk to each other on the chat. You put each other's phone number, and then just go ahead and talk on WhatsApp. Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes from now, but please don't discuss with other group. Keep it totally secure. Okay, let's use this time.
I am from group 2. Me and Mahant got on the call and we discussed few features which may be impacted by the AI.
Hmm.
So, firstly, I mean, we the product we choose was quick commerce, which is Blinkit. So, Blinkit is mostly used by the Gen Z, and uh,
Why
so
Gen Z? I am an avid.
I mean,
You guys have
I
taken
mean,
Gen Z. That's fine.
I,
That's fine. I'm just trying to understand
I
what
mean,
you
it's one of the main users. So
said. Okay.
though there are many
Raj, you can also turn on the camera. It makes the
okay.
conversation much live. Yeah.
Actually, my room is a bit dark.
No problem. We all understand it's early morning.
Uh,
Go ahead.
okay. So, second, the first feature which I'll be picking is personalized recommendations, which we get on Blinkit. So, so based on the, the persona we picked for Gen Z. So, how is their routine, and based on that, they usually wake up at, some of them at 10, 11. So, they after waking up, usually they want to get quickly something, so will will recommend some some of the pre-cooked foods, like in north we have parathas, which they can easily just heat it and then eat it. uh, and other pre there are things like they can order bread, butter, milk, and so these will be recommended on the top banner for the morning, and which will change based on the time of the day. And if it's a weekend, then uh, this personalized recommendation will suggest items accordingly based on the time of the day, and then based on the geography of the person, and based on his previous orders. Maybe he is located in the north, but he mostly likes to, search for items like dosa or something, so we'll recommend those. So these factors will be into consideration while creating this personalized recommendation.
Perfect. 2 minutes you took, but I think it's good. First of all, can all of you give a good applause? I think the first team ever we did our assignments, and they really talked about. See, when they did just a quick summary, they talked about what is the app they took. They talked about the segment that they took. They analyzed the behavior that the segment is really looking for, their specific morning behavior, and what is the need, and therefore the app kind of gives them that need based solution, right? So they talked about it, so they structured it well. Good job, team. And yes, Blinkit definitely does it. You may want to add, they also look for this kind of the drink that is available, those what do you call, the fruit drink, right? That
Uh,
paper boat kind of a thing, right? You can
right.
also order this along with
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But what is important is Blinkit is learning every time and giving you a new recommendation based on your eating. Today it is paratha. You may want to take some variety of meal. So next day you get dosa, based on if you are a North
Mm-hmm.
Indian, you want to take a South Indian flavor. You want to take something like a momo if you are a veg or a non-veg. Based on that, you can you can do that. So that's a thing. Good job, team. Thank you so much. Uh, Moving to the next team now.
Sorry,
Go ahead, Raj.
I'm sorry.
So
Just
is it just one person presenting?
One person will present from each group.
oh,
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
actually,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so
we
much.
So
we
next time,
divided
Mahant,
features.
you do it so that you get the time,
Yeah.
and if you and Raj as a team, so you present it. Okay,
Okay,
everyone,
no
I will
problem.
make sure, because see, by doing that, you are also learning how to present impromptu. Okay, and you need to be crisp in what you present. So you should have an objective. You should have a statement, as I told you, that I took at this, very, very crisp. And this is the objective we have seen. This is the behavior we have seen. Based on that, the app has learned and used these AI behaviors, and this is the way a app is recommended. AI.
Just once, just I'll sum it up with what he said. I'll just take 30 seconds. And when it comes to the metrics, we have 500 million plus personalized recommendations per day. This is what Blinkit has achieved, which no rivals has achieved so far.
Pretty good, pretty good. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah. Good. Okay, so I now see Sindhuja and is it now
Vishnu
Arun?
is my team member.
Okay, Vishnu. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Ma'am, just we will split, okay? I just will talk about what exactly like AI applications in the product which we chose,
Hmm.
and Vishnu will give some of the features which can AI can be added,
Okay,
which
so two
currently
of
is.
you will present. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vishnu and I decided and came off the product which we day-to-day base use, which is bookmyshow.com. So here the main three applications where we see the usage or the AI is the three things. What we noticed is the recommendation system, that personalized recommendation one, and then we also saw the predictive analysis for demand forecasting, and the third one is in feed. I don't know how to put it in the feedback analytics. Is that the natural language processing? Is that the framework behind it or not? I am not sure. So for that they use feedback analytics. So one thing is the first section is the recommended movies. So based on the users, the input, like the location where they are from, the language, what is their native language, and also the genres, what they used to watch. So we have this recommended movie section where we get that personalized recommendation, just like Amazon or Netflix. So that is one we noticed. Then coming soon session also, based on the past users input, like the history or the genres which I choose. If I choose rom-coms, and then I get the coming movies, like, okay, these are the movies your upcoming movies, so that it recommend. Then we also have, for every movie there is a upvote and downvotes, and also there is some user ratings and feedback. So for that, for a user, it is so useful for me to read that feedback. Sorry. Okay, to read that feedback, and then whether I can actually book that movie or not. So that is also, and also for the movie makers, okay, what actually the user is speaking about the movie, about my movie. So this is like the NLP technique is used, and also maybe the sentiment analysis of the user is being used. So that we saw. Other than movies, there was also a lot of other events like food events, any workshops, classes. So you can see multiple things. So if I booked a workshop for my kid on a painting, then for upcoming any painting sessions or painting workshops are coming, so I get notified accordingly. So that is also one of the features, personalized feature. And also we came across something called Nikki.ai. It's an AI powered chatbot where we can get the movie ticketing or the conversational based movie ticketing experience. It will be hassle free instead of a user going and taking a time consuming way to book a ticket. So these are some features we explored where the usage of AI is immense. Yeah, I'll hand over to Vishnu.
Yeah, I think most of the points are covered by Sindhuja. Yeah, actually, so when we discussed about Book My Show, we were discussing on how we can enhance the user experience. So the best thing that we can do is that giving more synopsis. Like, so for example, we can use the AI whenever there is a concert or whenever there are some movies. So some users like me, we are more interested on who is the one who is organizing the concert, or who are the casts that is in the movie. So instead of manually entering their information, we can use the help of AI, and we can auto-populate all the information, because everything, because for example, me, Vishnu is organizing an concert. So definitely what we can do is, like, my information definitely will be there in internet. So we can auto-populate all those information with the help of AI from internet, and it's like we can reduce the manual work, and it will also give us a better user experience, because user will be more inclined towards those particular concerts or movies also. Like for example, the cast members, the information about the cast members, or whatever means, like what was their what all things they did
Vishnu,
apart from
time
this
up.
movie. So this will be.
You
Yeah.
guys, as a team has taken 4 minutes when it was 2 minutes. So Things,
Okay.
everybody has to be treated fairly. I always believe that. So I think, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but let's go to the next team. And going forward, let's always ensure that we respect the time and have one person from the team. Okay, and be crisp. What you have said, more or less similar things Sinduja has said. Maybe you can just summarize what she has not said, and you want to put
Okay.
together as a new point. Okay, so learn that also, how
Sure.
to present better. Okay,
Got it.
good one. I like BMS. BMS is very popular. So yes, you picked up the right thing. You talked about different categories that they see, different types. NLP, yes, definitely when they use those star rating, you talk, and then that another AI where it kinds of reducing your queue and giving you things at your convenience. More like a spoon feeding approach these tools use today, which is also bad, because we need to also have our own ways of going and buying things. That's another fun or experience. But yeah, this is what it is. The current generation also wants everything instant gratification and everything to be there. So yeah, makes sense. Thank you, team. Moving to the next one. Go ahead, Jyotsna and Arun, right?
Josna will start the thing, and if what she left, I will cover it.
Perfect. Focus your timing. Okay, 2 minutes I give. Go ahead. Now your time starts.
Hi. So, me and Arun were discussing about the quick commerce and social media, how they are interrelated. Like, whatever we search on quick commerce, the similar recommendation we will get in the social media that we see, right? Either on Facebook or on Instagram. Similarly, even if we are looking on a site, or even if you're talking something, now the AI has overpowered the mobile device in a way that they catches our words and verbiages, and then they are giving us the recommendation on the social media basis, those thought processes. So that is something, and we repeatedly see the same thing on the social media. Similarly, if we see any kind of a reel or any specific content on Instagram or Facebook, you will start getting similar kind of reels and content. So this is something wherein AI has overpowered human thinking, and it mostly catches everything and anything that is happening around us. So that is what we have identified, that how AI is overpowering things. And similar what Sindhuja talked about, human sentiments and everything, it's very much can correlate. So it is already covered, so I'm not getting into it. And Arun, if you can please take over and give your points.
Yeah, Siddha, as we think that the social media and empowered, because all the things are connected to the meta.ai, and they collect the total data and refine it, and giving us the best suggestion they have. As per we know that the total empowered by the AI, all the platforms are used in the certain days, like any type of a application, social application, or the major application, you can see in it, like when we put some doctor prescription in the data 1 mg, then after that, after you can see that yes, there is some more medicinal companies will be also showing the same thing with like different salt and different things. So AI give us a power decisions on what we bought from where. They have to push it where we did not want to go. We did not want to reach over there. So they give the better suggestions, or a refined suggestion for us.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we forgot to congratulate the second team also. Let's do a good, they have really done well. And yes, even the third team, you guys have also, talked about the key aspects of the social media, which is, so guys, overall, very good job. One thing is, when you talk, just my two or three key points when you talk. One is that we have taken this tool. This was the task that has been given. These are the aspects that we have rated the tool, based on the AI competency or where AI can be used, and then take those 3 areas or 2 areas and say that I'm going to talk about first area. I'm now going to talk about second area. I'm now going to talk about third area. Structure it. When you structure it, people are more willing to listen, and your presentation, you also come across as a good presenter, which we learn throughout the course. And yeah, AIPM main job is to communicate with the right structure and the template and the data, which makes other person inspire, that why I should look at this versus not. So you are also influencing with your speech. So you need to also sharpen your presentation ability, right? Even though you don't have any visual aid, but you are only talking, your talking has to be crisper, right? Okay, so with that, I hope you all agree. And how did you feel about this exercise?
Nice.
It was good.
Good. Okay. Great. Okay. Now what I will do is we will learn those three tools, and I will also give you some assignments. We have exactly 1 hour. So let me get started. Okay. So before I get into the assignments, let me now show you.
Sripta, sorry for interruption.
Sure.
Please give us 10-minute break because it's
Oh,
early
okay. I'm
morning.
so sorry. Yeah. Take 10 minutes break. Yeah. Go ahead, and
Sure.
we come at 9:40. Yeah. Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have one question,
Sure.
Sudipta.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What is that tool, shorter loop? How and how it is GDPR compliant? Actually, uh, I am also working on a application. So we tried to implement GDPR rules. Then the datasec team said it's not in the scope of the development team to implement the GDPR rules. So how you have implemented, and I think it varies country to country. USA has some different GDPR rules, and then China has some very strict rules. So I'm working on the CV parsing tool, so personal information cannot be stored uh, on different. So if you can add to it what the tool is and how GDPR rule is implemented.
Right. So, if you guys all, because the other person has taken a break, but if you go to shorterloop.com, I'll just put it on the chat, and then there is a section in their footer called privacy policies. If you guys want to go now and share your screen, it's perfectly fine. Go to shorterloop.com, then get into the footer, and you will find their privacy policies. Read that. It is very transparent that what data is being stored, how do they use the data, when they put that data into their algorithm, the engine that they have built on their own, what are the fields that they are using, right? And where it needs to be masked. So for example, when we let's say a particular customer, I'm not taking the name of the customer, because we get always aggregated data from the customer, and we don't know which customer is using, but we know definitely the customer is from this industry, the customer is from this region, the customer is from this city, and the customer is using this product, which is a B2B. And for them, the end user is, let's say Gen Z and Gen X or Gen Y, right? And when we get the data here, the data, we are not storing their personal, the name, their age, what we are only storing, what is the feature they are using, what is the time of the day they are using the feature, how they navigated to that screen, what are the activities they have done step by step in that particular product app. With that, what is that they achieved, and how long they been on that each product screen. Because as a PM, or as anyone who wants to monetize the product or the app, they really want to ensure the engagement is high, they are able to focus on the same path the way the product has been built, and if the customer has also focused on the same path. And then the objective is, what are the activities being in that particular model the customer did. So let's say the customer has created a persona, customer has created a vision, customer has interacted 3 times with the shorter loop AI copilot to ask these questions, and we also want to monitor how accurate the shorter loop AI in giving those answers, right? So that is where we mark. Here we are not storing any of the personal data. Now take this rule, whether it is US, whether it is EU, whether it is APAC, that rule remains same. You are masking the person's individual information, right? And when we also learn the data and then we recommend something, we only say that, okay, the customer from North America use this tool differently from customer from APAC or customer from this country or the customer from this city. We don't name the customer. We don't store the what do you call IP address you can store, but you cannot. And then there would be also we take the consent that these are the details we are storing. Are you okay with that? Okay, and how we're going to use your details? We will be using it in communicating to you on the new and enhancement within the app. Using our communication, the EDM through customized email campaigns that we are doing. We will also invite you based on your data to these events. If you are free, you can join and learn more. So we are masking and we are explicitly talking what is that we are going to use, and that gives a lot more confidence. I hope, Raj, that answers your question, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. So I think we have 9:40 the break. Okay, let's wait for 4 minutes. If you guys also want to take a break, quickly come back in 4 minutes and join me at 9:40. Want to take a
Sudipta,
water? Yeah, or have breakfast, quick one. Yeah, go ahead, Vishnu.
You
I
want
can
to take a
also
break?
take
actually, I also.
Ma'am, you want to take a break or you are still
Oh,
covering?
yes.
Go ahead, take a break. I am okay. I am fine. I just took a quick break while you guys were in the discussion. So
Okay, then I have
please
another question then.
go ahead.
So uh, just the background is I'm spent like 10 to 12 years of development and validation into embedded and IoT segment. My segment is slightly different from apps and all, but when I did the IoT, it was complete end-to-end where we developed some SaaS applications also to support the complete end-to-end IoT stuff. Now, I did not have much experience on the app, but I do understand like what the customer required, and I used to make that clear and translate that to the engineering team. And they used to develop, and then they used to provide. I used to review, and then go to the customer, present it as a sprint plan, and then come back. Now, I want to breakthrough into the AI product manager. So there are two things, as I understand. Please correct me. One is that you use AI tools to make your product management job easier, whether it is customer discovery, problem discovery, or even doing the BMC if it is a startup, a new product, or MVP. But how do I get into the companies that actually are developing the solutions with the base of AI? They are using all AI engines because they have already they are already convicted that the AI is bringing a lot of advantages for them in terms of time saving or in terms of energy or resources or whatever. So they are backing up their whole solution using AI. Now, how do I get into that company, and what are the top two prerequisites that you think I should be knowing?
Yeah, so good question, Damahan. So the key thing is whether you are using embedded or the IoT, and you are now moving into the transition to AI in PM. Remember, there was a speaker in one of these AI product conclave that we did last two. We did right in May we did, and one was in April. And this person was from one of the Fortune 500 company, and he is currently using the AI as a platform launch. He is creating the AI platform. So for that, what he did is he actually used those tools which I'm teaching you, right? For a research, you do this. For problem statement creation, you do this. Because how you will create the tool, for that you need the data science and the AI ML whom you need to tell that these are the rules, right? This is what the tool should do. These are the rules, these are the inputs, these are the outputs. If this happens, the tool will behave in this way, right? The tool will give answer to this. The tool will not hallucinate on those do's and don'ts, right? And also have a lot of simulated behavior based learning. So let's say a user asks something which the tool doesn't has in its database. The tool will respond that, okay, I don't know this, but I will get back to you after checking this with my internal team. That's a lot more answer rather than giving you a wrong answer, right, on this. So you should have all these different permutation and combinations when you are creating such AI platform product, or is it an internal product, or you are creating a totally AI based product. There is a, this builder.ai, right? They claim
Yeah.
that they will create the, using AI, they will create the website in minutes. But at the back end, it was all the developers who were creating it. And being true to your vision, being true to your integrity, that you say, right? And you should mention everything in the tool when you are developing. The more you create such documentation, it is easier for the data science or your ML person to tell you that, okay, this is the input data I have taken, but the tool will also learn. Here the tool will also do supervised and unsupervised learning, because many of the cases the question that is coming, it is impromptu, right? And the tool will, you should also give a case based thing, that if you get a database question, the tool will focus on the regression analysis, and the tool will tell the answers in this template, that I looked at your data. You see, when we are working with any AI tool, that AI tool does, okay, now I am deeply thinking what a question you asked, I am trying to understand how I can give you the best output. I am going to look into these XYZ data, and based on this data, I am going to tell you 1, 2, 3. Please let me know if this is the way you want me to go. And then it asks for human intervention, yes or no. So this is where you have to create those types of answers, so that when anyone is interacting, this is the predicted input and this is the predicted output. If this is a total impromptu question, AI will behave in this way, right? AI will use supervised learning in this case, AI will use unsupervised learning in this case, AI will do, the data tree analysis, AI will do this, outlier analysis, AI will focus on this particular behavior, but making sure data is inclusive. Very important to mention these rules. Otherwise, the AI platform manager or whatever you are building for external customers also, that will totally be a failure. Because tomorrow when customer asks, how do you use my data? How did you give my answer? Which data set you looked in? You will know that, yes, I have used in this data set. So everything needs to be documented, and that is exactly the AI PM's role. I hope that answers, right? So your role is work as it's like a guardian. Each and everything that has not been talked, better be talked and documented, signed it off internally. It is actually making your job, your compliance officer, your legal officer, your C-suite's job very easy, because you have thought of each and every minute aspect. And also ask different AI tool, look, I'm going to build this AI platform product. Don't tell everything, but give a very a context thing. What more I can think of? What are the other question I should look at? This is where AI tool will also give you some other insights which you have not thought through. Okay, so we are now at 9:43. I will now start showing each tool, and we'll do one exercise in each tool, and then I'll give you the same assignments. You can choose either to do the same assignment to replicate this, or you can do any other assignment based on the today's learning. Okay, and do show me, either you want to take some screenshot and put it in the presentation and send it to me, so that I have done this, what are the assignment, because I'm very hard on doing the assignments, because if this step is not getting cleared, we cannot get into module 2 or module 3 or module 4, right? So let me start. I hope everyone of you have come back, right? I'm not really looking at in the screen, but all 6 of you should be there, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, now let me go to this. Just give me a minute. I always prefer to use Chrome, because Chrome gives me a lot of, it's better in still in the search side of it. And
Even extensions also.
yeah, exactly. So let me use my ChatGPT thing, which I use. Okay. Um, and I will also show you the perplexity. And then we'll go to shorter loop, and we'll see that. Okay. So let's first get started with ChatGPT. I'm currently using free version, but because we are not really using something very critical data, and I'm not reading what I'm trying to do this. So let's say, I'll give you this prompt, don't worry. I'll share this with all of you. And let's say that I'm using, trying to build an AI tool similar to, let's say I'm using Blinkit, okay? So look, what I did, I used my template. So I said that I am an AI product manager. I am trying to build an AI tool similar to Blinkit. The more you specify what you want, what the tool looks like, AI will look for similar data and give you a much better answer. Okay. What you want with the data, you want that similar to Blinkit. You want to do this. What is that? One is that it should give a gather accurate market data, and I want the site, the sources, I mean the data URLs, provides me the customer segments who are using that particular product. In this case, the Blinkit market research I am doing helps me do deep analysis on various consumer behavior. Okay. And the how it is going to help you do things. So it will do understand, the customer segments, their behavior, their buying patterns. And you also want to understand from ChatGPT the competition that has Blinkit has, and what are those top three competitors. So you are not looking for all competition, you are looking for only top three competitors, and that too in India. And what are those competitors products, their customer, their revenue, their go to market, all of those details that you want. And using this market research, what are the recommendation you have that I can use to improve the experience of Blinkit. Okay, so now I did this, and let's see what it does. And we'll use the similar prompt for also Perplexity. So it's first starting with the AI data for Blinkit, what all, and it has kind of, given you so that it didn't do the hallucination. It's actually, when you click, these are the real data sources. Okay, now you are saying that, okay, the customer segmentation and behavior for Blinkit. It's telling urban families and also the budget and the value. And even we can add on top of this, not just trusting only the AI input. You can also ask that people, it's a last minute problem, right? We try to solve with Blinkit. Arey, mere paas ye nahi hai. This is night 11 p.m. How do I get this thing? So you quickly order it on Blinkit, right? So those last minute people that AI has not taken it, and you should include those few types of segments also. And then what is the behavioral insights you get, that it is truly AI driven personalization boosts the conversion and the loyalty. And this is, these are the things it has taken. It is telling Gen Z and the millennial users value intuitive UI and the seamless. As I told you, they don't want any friction. They want, things to be pretty straightforward, minimal usage, nice appealing screen that helps them to do the task. And most users prefer products within a 2 kilometer radius for delivery efficiency. That is also. So in none of the case AI has done the hallucination. Now the competitive landscape. So you are finding Zepto, you are finding Swiggy. If you have some specific other competitors also, other than, see what I asked, who are other competitors, top three competitors of Blinkit, right? It has also included Blinkit as one of the competition. So this is not the thing what I wanted. I wanted Zepto and Swiggy. And okay, let's say Instamart already taken, but then there could be another other tool that you can, I think, what was that? Flipkart also has it, right? So it could have taken Flipkart. Now it is behavior analysis tools. It is where the AI should enable. Now you are trying to build a tool similar to Blinkit. So what is that you should take care of is that segment level demand forecasting. LSTM model. What is LSTM model? Go and read it. Okay, here, this is a very good thing, by the way. Now, this archive.org, they keep coming with very nice material, and have every day at least 15 to 20 minutes of time reading more AI based topics that is coming in. Then when you are looking into the AI tool, of course the segment level demand forecasting. Other than that, basket and frequency patterns. Basket means what can be the combo, what can complement. When you show the toothpaste, with the toothpaste you are showing the brush, but with the toothpaste and brush, maybe what is the next thing you need in the morning after toothpaste? Maybe a bread and milk. I'm not sure. You need to do an experiment and see will that help, right? Identify the different types of bundles and see which bundle is working better, right? And then price elasticity analysis to select that not too much of promo, only the promo that is typical for that particular basket, so that you are not overwhelming the people with this pop-up, that star things, this is dangling and those kind of things. No, not too much, very, very minimal, so that the user is motivated to do that one task that you want them to do. And then the last one is geospatial demand heat maps to optimize dark store placements. Yeah. So this is also, you need to identify that within 2 kilometer delivery. This is a very, very important concept. So within 2 kilometer delivery, what are the things that you can actually identify? Which are the stores, which can actually keep these details or this inventory for that particular product, for that particular company. Now, strategic recommendation, hyper localized promos, what kind of, so it has given more or less generalized. Now, you as an AI PM should come up taking one cue, coming up with one specific campaign. So let's say you want to do that 2 kilometer radius campaign you want to do, and see campaign in the sense you want to do an experiment and see if your AI tool is able to predict the behavior that based on that 2 kilometer radius you have chosen. Let's say there is a watch shop, there is another KPN kind of a shop, and let's say there is this tailor shop, which is a big tailor shop. So where you can keep your inventory, let's say like a too big freezer, and so you can think you can do that experiment in the tailor shop and also in that grocery shop. In that case, your grocery shop is also your competition. So how do you use that particular store to complement their product? You need to see vis-a-vis in the tailor and the watch shop, they don't have, but it is more of a complementary. They also get a shared revenue from by putting your the freezer in their shop. And for that, the shop space, what kind of revenue, you need to do all of those data, but it is giving you more of a recommendation that these are the cases you can use. Now AIPM will go to further 2 3 deeper stage and take these cues and do one campaign to identify if this experiment is successful or not. Okay, now this part is clear, right? And it has then given me all these details. Now look, it is asking me as well, want me to help outline specific module architecture or data pipeline for these features? Yes, you can do that. Or you can say that the above information is good. However, I would like to improve the following. What are the following? Instead of three competitors, section, you have used Instamart, and what was the other thing? Zepto. Third competitor is missing should not be blinked. Should not be blinked, but another one like flickered. Do your due diligence and list the competitor. The way you talk to your colleagues, the way you talk to your manager, your family and friends, the same way you talk to this AI tool. Do your due diligence and list the third competitor. Also, I want you to think deeply on each of these strategic recommendations by sharing some ideas on experiments that AI product manager can do to build an inclusive, data aware, deep thinking, and prediction based algorithm to determine 99.99% accuracy oriented output. The tool should do supervised, unsupervised learning and use various data analytics techniques based on the questions that user asks or interacts with the tool. So it has now, I have asked to Flipkart, but I told, look, do your due diligence and then tell me. Then it has given me those data that why it has taken not Flipkart but BB now. Okay. You can also ask that please also do an analysis on Flipkart so that you yourself can also validate is it BB now or is it Flipkart, which one you two should take, right? Ask everything. This is where I am working as a AI PM that okay, to build an AI powered tool that's inclusive, data aware, deeply predictive, supervised or unsupervised, where it will use unsupervised, where it will use supervised. And I'm okay with this concept. This is what exactly I also wanted. Because when you ask, how are you analyzing, how are you predicting, they will tell you these are my models. And this is where you need to see and sign up those models, right? So recommender system, dynamic basket, how it is doing, train collaborative filtering, right? Plus deep learning, product embedding plus net style visual features. So you want to show this feature of slim milk coming from Good Life, and then you are showing another one Nestle, which also has a slim milk. Now, which one you prefer? And you put both the images. And let's say budget shopper will always go for Good Life, whereas the premium buyers will go for Nestle. And you want to see how many cases people choose this, and therefore your sales has increased because you have shown one is low price, another is the high price. And in this case, that person has not compromised on buying a low thing because it is a daily essential item, and for whom you are buying. You are buying most of the time it's a female who is buying, right? Men don't do the grocery shopping in the morning until unless you are a student or you are a bachelor and you don't have a family, you are staying out. So in that case, so what in this case as a female behavior would be? Female behavior would be I will not compromise on money. I will definitely want the best health for my family. Whereas for a student, they are short on the pocket money, they will buy Good Life or maybe a lesser version of Good Life. So you need to understand different types of experiments, image, maybe the embedding the product, complementary product, combo product, and you need to do this A/B testing, and then of course rule based also identify the incremental basket value when you are checking out. That time also you show something else with this milk. we have come up with a very multi-grain bread which is on zero maida, and chia seeds, watermelon seeds, all these seeds are there. And you also give some star system, some testimonials showing this, and see that if this ask them to do a better buying another, the person hasn't thought, but then they went for the incremental basket, right? So do this. See, in B2C, doing things a lot easier in B2 compared to a B2B, because you can't really know that what that person will be asking, what the tool's behavior is. So we need to do a lot more experimentation in B2B versus B2C, because things are not clear here. And of course, the price, you can do another campaign on price elasticity. You can do this dark store thing delivery. So it has given me a far more detail. Okay, and see how it is going to give you 99.99% accuracy. The module, for this module, the goal is this. This is the technique, and this is the experiment feedback. You can copy this, right? And let's say from this, you are only picking up these two. The bundled one, you want to do an experiment, and the prediction one, you want to do an experiment. So you show this model that in this case. So this is what AI PM should be doing, not telling you that completely copy everything, but add few things what I told, this has been missed out. Now, let's do the same experiment in Perplexity and see what kind of inputs we get. So I copy the same prompt that I've given on top. Did you see one thing? Compared to ChatGPT and the Perplexity, both I am using the free version. Perplexity is a lot more deeper when it comes to market research. It uses a lot more data sources compared to ChatGPT. And everywhere it has, it has. So always, use 2-3 tools, compare the data, identify what was the missing point in the previous tool, but in this case, what is the additional point and how I will do this. Okay, it has also given the Blinkit as a thing. Okay, and then it has also done, but these analysis and compared to ChatGPT analysis is little different. Okay, these are more or less same thing. Product range and partnership, ChatGPT hasn't talked about, but they talked about. Deep penetration, they have talked about this. They have ChatGPT hasn't talked about this. How you can improve the app experience. Perplexity is throwing some great things which ChatGPT hasn't talked about. Okay, conclusion is this. Now look at this. These are the things you should also ask and gather more deeper analysis. Now let me use the same prompt what I gave to ChatGPT, and I want that same thing if I get from Perplexity. Okay, now let's see. See, every time it is throwing, it is exactly the sanity thing when you build an AI tool. When you give a prompt to the AI tool, you should be knowing how the AI tool is functioning. So now I am doing deep research. Now I am going through all the third-party data that is available. Now I am trying to use my thinking in recommendation and the analysis. What should be the strategy be? Then now I am publishing, and so these gives you a confidence. What are the steps the tool has done? What are the approach towards? The most important part is how do you uh, structure your thinking towards it before you start doing it. And this is exactly the AI tool is doing, and that is exactly what Mahant also asked, that if I am going to build an AI tool, these are the things the AI tool has to know. But one thing I really liked in ChatGPT did tell you that the last thing, right? If you see here, it tells you when I told that okay, accuracy 99.99 accuracy. Yeah, how will you get this accuracy? It tells me specifically this module, these details, these techniques, and this is where I will be achieving. So I said, okay, fine, go ahead and then do that. And then final recommendation, it has also given. But it has not talked about those partnership. It has not talked about those, tier two, tier three, how you will expand, how you'll get more buck for the thing. Now look at Perplexity, it has taken Flipkart my minutes, right? Which is a new launch. It has not taken BB now. So it has given you some more data points to you can now tell, can you compare BB now with Flipkart and tell which is the better while comparing these aspects. You can go on. So this is where you are using chain prompting and gathering and sharpening your data before you can put to your audience and create a very holistic presentation. Now, enhanced strategic recommendation with AI experiments. It is also telling you that, look, you have to do this cluster where I will be doing unsupervised. Supervised is precision because you already have, previously you achieved, let's say, 70% accuracy. Now you want to achieve 90% accuracy. So what was the loophole in your 70% accuracy? Some of the data didn't give me the right results I looked for. So in this case, you will use both supervised and unsupervised learning and show me the comparison of both, right? So it will then do all of this, right? You should also ask what is the input you have taken in the supervised learning, and in the unsupervised learning, what is the technique you use? Did you use the cluster? Did you use any other techniques? You need to let me know. And then finally, you are doing this. So what it is telling, it is also gave me one step extra, that if you are a designer who is working on the Python, the data science person, you can actually use these as the pseudocode. And when you give them, see, this is where the clustering is used, k-means. I told you about the unsupervised learning, right? And then in the supervised model, there is a classifier class or the function. They have stored this classifier in that model, and then they are calling this model that when there is a particular feature which is applied to this particular cluster, and this is the purchase that has been made by that cluster, then you will store this, that this is a fit. So this way you are actually helping your data science team that you should be using supervised here, you should be using unsupervised here. In this case, you will be organizing the data in the supervised, but in unsupervised, you will be using cluster. If you know the another unsupervised technique, you can also ask your data science, why only you are doing k-means? Why cannot you do the another unsupervised and show me the comparison of results? This is where an AI PM is helping the team to think better, helping them to choose the right model that the company deserves. So tomorrow, if your manager or your C-suite asks, why did you use K-mean and why didn't you use other thing? You can easily say, look, I have done these two experiments. I see K-means has given me a better accuracy, and therefore I have chosen. And this is what exactly been found in my data science team also. And here is the results. You need to give a lot of confidence to your team, whether they are working with you or your manager or your mentor, so that they come to you, they know that you are a problem solver, you know what you are doing, you have a clarity, you have the courage, you have the confidence, and you are communicating. 4C's, very important. So those things, now you got this experiment, these metrics, these are the things. So now you know, if you have to do your market research, which are the tools to use. You can similarly use Mistral, you can DeepSeek, I will not say, because you are unknowingly giving a lot of data to Chinese, so I am not very fond of doing that. But use these tool, and Copilot also, Gemini, you can use, Copilot also you can use, and you can then check which has. But I will tell you, Perplexity does a lot better job when you are doing a simple market research, simple competitive analysis. And of course, you can also take few of the input that is coming from your chat GPT. See, here also it has tell that how I am accurately coming. When it is a data ingestion means what? You have some data, you got some additional data, so you inject that data. And in this case, when you injected the new data, it is not creating a bias effect, right? You also have to see the drift is lesser, right? And you also need to understand where there is a drift. So drift in the sense that where the data is little outlier, or data is not gelling with the already existing data, those kind of things. So you those kind of framework, like a great expectation framework, where people are really looking for that, okay, if I do this, my expectation is I should get the product delivered in 2 minutes. Okay. And in this case, when you are mapping your 2 kilometer delivery thing, and if that person is coming, let's say they are already those Yulu or those kind of bikes are there, and even there is a instead of 2 kilometer, there is a 0.5 kilometer dark store. So you will also do that experiments. The 0.5 kilometer will give me 2 minutes faster delivery, or that 5 kilometer. We know expectation is 0.5 kilometer, but you may find that there may be some shortcut that the 2 kilometer person has used, and he has put your things faster. You don't know. You need to do an experiment. That's what. But it is telling you when to do what model and in what validation mode you will be used. So these are the things that when you discuss with your data science people, they will say, oh, this guy knows already what I am doing. This is where they come and they open up and they discuss. But if you just say, look, we have to do this, kind of a business analysis person, but you don't know the inside how the data works, then they will not really trust you. Now they think that you are in the same bucket of them when you ask the right question. I hope this makes sense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's go to shorter loop. Okay, and I will also open my shorter loop account, and we'll do a separate experiment, and I'll tell you also going to that the data privacy thing that we are discussing, right? It's still- Okay, so now let's go to shorterloop.com. So if you go to the filter, go to the footer section, you will find their privacy policy. Okay, so it's telling that what we collect on what are the channels. Okay, it is also telling that it does not apply to information collected by all of these. Okay, then it is telling that by collecting these, how are we collecting, what are those, by which you and your company person, such as your name, company's name, we are collecting. But are we really using those things? Where we are using, where we are not using, we are also clearly saying we collect this information directly from you when you provide it. See, directly from you, we are not taking the data from any other, because it's the first data set. If you see this cookieless world, right, you need to have a lot more first relationship with your customer. You will ask your customer, look, I am using this data, I'm going to collect this data so that I can give you better informed product, better informed communication. Are you okay with it? When the customer says, then you are first hand data you collected. But we are not collecting this data other than that any other customer resources. So the customer is the only obligatory person here. Then we are saying information you provide to us. Okay, how we are going, what is the records and copies, information we collect through automatic data collection techniques. Okay, those are the things. Cookies, flash cookies, web beacons we use for this, and we are very transparent. If you go to other places, you will not find this kind of transparency that shorter loop has put. So this is very important, first of all, to create the trust and create that confidence that your data is in safe hands. And you will also get promotional offers from which email ID, what kind of data, what are the tracking things we are doing, how is the data secure, GDPR compliance, specifically EU data, US data, US you have mentioned. So we are very, very transparent as a company. What are your access right? What kind of questions and comparisons and your, the privacy complaints that you can do. Any changes to the policy, we will let you know. And finally, you can write us to us. So we are very, very transparent. So this is what Raj, I wanted to show you. Now let's get into the tool. Look, because I already have my access to the tool, but for you, the journey that you will take is you come to shorter loop. You will create an account, uh, click on the the sign up thing, or you can click on try today for free. and there is a small form. It will ask you that, okay, your name, email, you set up the password, and what is the product that you are trying to build, and how did you hear from how did you hear about us. You will provide that, and then 4 or 5 fields, and then you get inside the tool. Now the people who has an existing tool, you need to create a new email ID and then use it, because you in your previous product you must have been a admin if you have created another login, and that person and if you are using the same email ID, you are already an existing product. So in that case, you can use your current existing sign in and continue using that. Or if you want to do a fresh thing, then you create a new tool and new email ID and do this. So now I will get into the login section of it. Okay, so let me, so then I go with the sign in tool, because I have my access already. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have a product when I created, was the name was AgriTech India, and it takes the initials when it shows here. And you see here, my profile, analytics, and all of this. Because I have admin access, so I can see the analytics. And I'll show you, this is very important for all of you to know what the data we are collecting. All the people who had come to using shorter look, their name, email ID, their roll number, and look here only what they are kind of activity that they are doing in the product. I don't have any other personal data, no data, but no phone, nothing, all of this. And because I'm an admin, I can download the data and I can see is my product being used rightly, right? So you can see all of this. You can also identify, those data that is being used, who are the recent customers who are using it. Happiest minds. I can see rank book and all of those people, right? So yeah, a lot of companies from different places. You can see these are the new people which I have not seen last time. So I'm not taking any personal data, and these are all first hand data. Okay, so that gives me a kind of confidence. Now let's see this. I want to, because we are in the first module, I will do some research with the product vision. Okay, let me get into, so how I will talk about this product lifecycle management in the next module, but you will have an assignment after this on these 3 tools that I am teaching you right now. But what you can do here is, once you get into the shorter loop, use discover section, then go to the product vision. And when you get into the product vision, so because I've already created it, okay, let me create a new product where you have, so let's say I'm creating a product, something like Blinkit, right? Let's say I gave the name for now. Okay, so the way this product works is, it is enabling not just you, but your entire product team to work together in one environment. It may be your engineering team, your business strategy team, sales team, marketing team, customer support, and your own product team. So you can choose what access you give to in your product team. Maybe 2 or 3 members should have admin access because they are working on and off. There are some editors whom you need along with product team to work very closely, like your marketing team who are working on the campaign. There is a research and analysis team who are working with you on that experimentation. So you need to give them editor access. Viewers means only your manager who just wants to view how things are. You want to get an approval from them. So in that case, yeah, but they are not the user of the tool. So that's a way you can do it. For now, I'm skipping it. And then I get into the product. Okay, so you come to the product vision canvas. And if you need to read to understand how this tool. So it's a simple representation that it describes the mission of your product. As a product manager, you need to always come first thing first. What is that product try to do? What is that product long term mission is? What is that product? Every product solves a problem, and that's why customers buy. Customer doesn't really care what technology you are using, how easily you are solving, and how using less time from me solving my problem. That is the motto of a customer. So in this case, what is your mission as a product manager? Now, you also need to know what is a vision statement. So these are the vision statement. Vision statement is an aspirational and the motivational, not just for you, but also for the organization. And also always have the customer first thinking or outside in thinking, we say, where you are understanding, go and meet every customer whenever you get a time. That's a very, very key quality of a product manager, and understand that how do you use my product, what is the main problem you are solving, and this is where based on that then you create your mission statement. Okay, so what is the hope or the aspiration or the motivation for your customers to buy or use your product, right? Not just in the long term but also in your short term. Okay, and nowadays most of the companies has a short term metrics and also the long term metrics. So this is the vision statement. Now you got clear, you can click on create and create your vision statement. But before you do that, this is the framework looks like. So there would be a box when you click on create button, you will be able to create your vision statement. It will also tell you based on the vision statements who are your target group, what are their needs, what is the product USP, or in one line, what is it doing, and what are the goals. It will also tell you. So a product manager is a data manager, always has to have a metrics, always when it talks, some assumption or something that it is basing is goal based on that. So all of this. And um, since you are a beginner, so start your vision statement, what you are going to do from now to 5 years to 10 years. Have a very bigger goal, but also you don't know how realistic or unrealistic, but based on some data you have assumed that this kind of calculated risk is fine, and you need to mention those data, of course, store it in your documentation. Use the present tense action words, be clear, concise when you're writing, not too much of fluffy, very crisp sentence. And the passion is here, improve the experience, right? Focus on the business values on the goal. You can talk about there is a problem statement in the industry and we are going to do an exploratory with our new product. How do we can navigate this problem statement better by doing these three things? These are the business objectives. So always talk about crisp template, and what does a vision means, what does a target group means, needs, product. You can read all of this and this will give you a better understanding, and then you click on create. So now let's say I am creating quick commerce B2C app for Indian consumers of images, and of images is wrong, of pages between 14 to 75 years that will replace all the current B2C e-commerce apps like Blinkit. So, and you have, let's say, Flipkart minutes, right? Does have feeling and impactful UI with action treatment to inspire the users to perform the desired action. What is the desired action? By the instantly increase order and bucket size, discount, lead, value, leading, Dashira, value. That's it. I want to give this. Okay. See, what is my motto? I'm very clear. Today I'm starting, but after 5 years from now, I want to be the number one app. The problem these apps have today, I want to diminish those problems, and I want to have very impactful UI. It's like point pe aao, seedha baat karo. Don't get around the bushes. Directly, tell what you want, and it's like show and tell. This is the screen. This is the desired behavior we want the user to do. And with my app, those buttons are placed in the right way. Those images are placed. Those UIs are done very judiciously with a lot of experimentation and the insights, so that at the end of the day, your goal is also increase the bucket size. Your goal as every PM will also take the revenue goal. You will not be spared if you just say, okay, I'll be the part of the design and the launch, but you will also have your revenue goals. How many customers you acquire, how many revenue, how much revenue you have increased in next 2 months. Those kind of goals you will also get along with the sales. So you need to partner with the sales. You need to understand your customers. So that is why you have sent this. Now, I have given these things. Now I am using with AI. This is Shorter Loop's own AI copilot, and it is learning your vision statement. It is doing its own research, and it has given a more polished one. Telling this, develop an innovative quick commerce B2C app that transfers the shopping experience of Indian consumers aged 13 to 75. Our app will surpass current platforms by offering a seamless, intuitive interface with dynamic, action-driven features that motivate users to engage in instant purchase, expand their order sizes, and capitalize on exclusive discounts during festival. What I've given more or less same, but it has given me a polish. Now, what AI job to do is, if you want, you can add your own human inputs and 1 to 3 years the goal of the product. This is where you are adding your human inputs. The product is superior AI using various experimentations, how the customers interact with the app, user focused interviews, and data available on customer journeys using multiple channels. So you can mention that one of you can for now this is okay, but every now and then vision statement is a living statement. It is not that okay written one time and use all time. No, it is as and when you come and gather more inputs, you will be having a more macro and micro vision statement, and then you will update it, and that way your target group and needs and other things will get refined. So you can write this, right? 1 to 3 years, this is my goal. Then my 4 to what was it, 5 years, right? 4 to 5 years goal is my revenue increase, geo expansion. Geo expansion means previously you were in tier 1, now you are getting into tier 2 and tier 3. Um, consumer expand, customer segments expansion. Could be anything. You can write other things. Okay, so this is my goal now. Okay, now based on this, I am asking AI to gather research. Don't go and blindly copy everything from this, but what it has given is what you have written the prompt. The more you sharp your prompt, more you attach other images, more you give other links. AI will read those and then sharpen your vision statement. Yeah, based on the current vision statement, AI has given me this. Tech-savvy elders, festive buyers, but they have forgot to write the office words. So this is where you are. Okay. You can also add budget shoppers, right? And you can write your Gen Z. Okay, so now I will show this in the part more, but for your research experiments, this is what I'm trying to do based on your vision statement, how it research and gives you the intelligence on what could be your customer segments, what could be the needs of those customer segments, and what is the one line benefits of this product, and of course the business objective. So it is still thinking. Okay, so let it think till that time I come and look for the other details. Sometimes AI will take some data thinking also, time based on the data that we have. And these are the things at a minimum. If this is what your vision for long term, these are the minimal features that you can expect. So it is also helping you when you are creating a prototype. At least focus on these things to create your minimal prototype. You don't have to focus on all 100 features, but focus on only top 8 or top 10 features, so that it is an incremental thing. Product is it is never an never a closed thing. So today it's your goal. Today this is what you develop. After 2 years from now, your goal would be more from the current thing. So that is how you are incrementally doing. So at this point, your prototype will only focus on the basic problem. Without that, your product won't be hit in the market, right? Because your vision is to replace the all other competitors, and therefore what is the kind of business objectives you should have, goals in the sense. Okay, so it has given me, look, I have not asked that you give me the goal 1 to 3 and 4 to 5, but AI has been smart enough and AI has been to look, you cannot do everything at the same time. Let's focus 1 to 3 years goal. Understand and develop the superior AI capabilities, build the right screen, do a lot of user interviews, you gather a lot of insights, then do a lot of experimentation on multiple channels, understand the customers of Blinkit, Zepto, what will switch them from this to the other, right? So that you can then develop those things in your feature, and once the prototype is ready, go and show to those people, and then let them try. That is what a product manager's job is to be done in the first 1 to 3 years, and then 4 to 5 years. Okay, and then now I'm coming to this, and I'm identifying for each target group what would be the niche. Sometimes AI will take more time, but whatever it is, if it is still thinking, it is still thinking, and you want to write your own inputs, you can write. So for a festive buyers, let's say I am not waiting for AI to come back, you are writing in the festive buyers, I will have this one festive buyer, let's say what else, shoes that you can get. Yes, give some other example. I'm not getting a better example right now. But yeah, I see what you need. Okay, some quick gift to family and friends. Okay, and then for a teen shoppers, every now and then they have their birthdays, they need these chocolates, right? They need these chips, right? All these junk foods and everything you can write. For a tech savvy, what they need is, they are always working on laptop, very busy people. So how I can get something quick eating, as you rightly said. Um, all of these. I think we yeah, there is a background noise. I know we have already surpassed the 10:30 time. So here I stop, and this is where the tool is helping you to polish your vision by doing the right market research and the competitive intelligence of it. Okay, so you saw the inputs are not at all comparable to ChatGPT and the Perplexity. That is a market research on competitive intelligence. Loop is a AI product management tool. It helps you to build a clear vision of your product by doing the right research, by doing the right. Please, if you can mute your lines, I hear some background noise, and the target groups and the needs, and then accordingly your goals, because PM also has to have a business goal, so that you take it. With this, I will now go to my slide. I showed you all the 3 tools, right? Now I will get inside the presentation that I had. It is okay, let me open this thing.
चलो
Okay, so we were here, right? Now I will talk about guys, can you please unmute? Can you please mute the line? I have been hearing a lot of voice I can hear. Yeah, now it's better. Okay, so coming back, uh, you learned the discussion thing. I then showed you these 3 tools, and then based on this, your assignment will be this. You choose an industry, any industry, not just these 3 industries. Choose any, and then research and present an AI use case relevant to product development. I told you, look, I have a very clear thing. I want to beat Blinkit. Okay, so this is the AI product tool or AI use case I have used. You can use any other tool. You can take any internal tool that is needed and it has to be made with AI. So what is the business case? You work on this. Build a 5-slide deck. I told you how to create the vision statement or a problem statement. Use shorter look for that. AI-driven solution to do the market research. Use all these 3 tools. What is the business impact that will come in your business goal of the discovery section I showed you in the vision canvas? And the tools and technology, you can show different screen of the tools that you have used and learnings for PMs. At the end of the day, what did you learn? Which tool is better, how do you use combination of all the tools, and which while I'm saying that, I will also give you the prompt that I used so that you can use the similar prompt and try in your case that are you getting a better input or you are getting a kind of maybe similar input. That is all good, but let's do that, right? So I copied this prompt and I put this on the chat. Okay, this was the first prompt. And then I also used the second prompt that look, you need to
Engaging Arjuna Pura.
Interactive.
Prompt 2. Okay. So here, this is the thing. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of this.
Ma'am, can you share that 5 slide? I
Yeah,
couldn't.
you will get the recording. So
Okay.
generally it is all staying in the the LMS that EduInix has. And Trupti, I see you here. So please share the recording today to all the participants because they have to do this assignment which I have shown it. Trupti, you there, right? Don't worry, they have recorded it. Sinduja, yeah,
Can
go
you
ahead.
show the last slide, ma'am? Last slide.
Last slide, no? Yeah, I will show.
Last slide. Yeah.
Yeah, I will show you that.
तुम्हाला personal address login करची. No? Is the LMS access given to everyone? I don't have it
Ma'am,
actually.
after business impact,
LMS
what are the other 2?
Wait, one by one. So first take this particular assignments. I will also give you the second assignment also. But yeah, let's first take this assignment.
I'm not able to see the last content, ma'am. After business impact, what is the point?
Where you see the business impact?
Yeah, build a 5-slide deck covering problem
Okay,
statement.
wait. I will give you this assignment.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, I'll give you it.
Thank you.
No problem. So assignment 1. Okay, so this is 1. Now, what I also want you to do, LMS in the sense you will get the recording of the session. Okay. So, and you will go through the recording and then you will also learn and some of the resources I have shared where you have to do your additional learning. And then I have also given these additional assignments, hands-on tool learning, which will help you to be better using the different prompts that we saw. So here in the additional assignments, for Claude, you will do, like if you have a market research report, let's say KPMG has come back with the recent consumer reports, right? And you attach that report and you ask Claude that tell me, submit a prompt and give me the insight. So you will learn that. So summarize a 10-page market research report and extract 3 key actionable insights. And you can mention that, hey, this is KPMG report. I want you to summarize and give me the 3 actionable insights. and also tell me what are the learnings that I should do based on this, right? So this could be one thing, pretty easy. You can do that. And then use Perplexity to build a buyer
The
persona.
person you're calling is not
Will
answering.
also
Please
show you
try
this.
later. ನೀವು ಕರೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕರೆಯನ್ನು
So this is
ಉತ್ತರಿಸುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
assignment 2. You would require at least 2-3 hours. Please give that time, because I really want all my students to be an expert using the AI tool. And the more you do such assignments, it gives you that practical hands-on thing. Okay, and then use shorter look to identify 3 key product gaps and recommend new features. This we will learn when we get into the our product
Gaurav.
lifecycle management. So assignment 4 need not to be done now.
Gaurav.
Okay. Clear, guys? So you do assignment 1, 2, 3. I have given you today's prompts. Lot of
I think Tirupati's mic is on.
yeah. Trupti, please mute yourself. I will mute you. Mute. Okay, so I think all good, guys. Let's go ahead and do this assignments and copy all of this. I have put it on the chat. I'll give some times for you to copy from the chat. And once all of you are done, then we will end the session. And tomorrow in the 3-hour session, let's go one by one where I can check the assignments. Okay, each of yours, and discuss the kind of insights you got on ChatGPT versus Perplexity, and in shorter look what you have done. So you can, create that presentation, those screenshots, the different prompts that you have used, and I can look at those prompts and tell you what would have been missed out here, how you can be better at prompt. What is the insight you have got from your assignment, this assignment 3, assignment 2 that you have done, and this 10-pager market research report. And yeah, that is it. So tomorrow we have spent 3 hours on instructor-led learning. Now let's spend tomorrow 3 hours to do these assignments. You have already done those assignments. Let's show. If you have not done some of the assignments, you have some doubt, let's clarify the doubts tomorrow. Okay, so this will be a practical hands-on session looking at your inputs and then helping you out that what could have been done better, or if you have done everything right. Okay, you guys put your, put it in the chat. If you have all copied the assignments and all the resources, then I will end this session. Okay, good. Arun, Raj, Mohan, fine, 3 people. At least tell me some feedback from this session. Does it really help you understanding how AI works? What is your focus? How will you rate this session? Jyotsna copied, 4 of you copied. Did you know everything? Did you learn something new? Will you implement this? Vishnu copied, okay. Great, thank you so much, Arun. It all comes with experience. Yeah, even I have also done a lot of A/B testing. Yeah, okay. What else, guys? Okay, any other feedback?
Yeah, ma'am, this is what I was actually looking for. So I actually was looking for the other market for this such courses, but everything, the content was very basic, right? It was so much of what say, like the bookish knowledge that was mostly taught. So this I'm feeling very practical, like day to day, how I interact with my ML engineer, data science engineer, my developers. And yeah, so you beautifully said you are also part of that revenue generator. So that that is something which hit me so hard. Okay, when I sit with UX designer, I also need to think in the user perspective that this should be like marketable. So I'll also in due course, ma'am, I will also tell you my struggles and how our product is facing failing in the market, and we are not turning out the customer adoption. So maybe that can help my team and my company.
Definitely. Bring those your practical use
Use
cases if you are
cases.
currently doing it, and completely everything is secured within this room.
Yeah.
because we are learning and helping each other. So open up and yeah, I'll help you out with it. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
Thanks for that
Thank you
knowledge
so much.
share.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So we are ending the session. See you tomorrow at 7:30. Be ready with all your assignments, and we'll have this review session tomorrow. Okay. Take care.
Sure,
Bye.
sure, with
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.